Chapter 1247. Qin Wentian was completely afraid of the third princess. This woman was too terrifying. Sometimes, she would transform into a noble princess, and in the blink of an eye, she would become incomparably seductive. Qin Wentian no longer treated her as a princess, but as a devilish female instead. For the next few days, other than cultivating, Qin Wentian told Juyu to continue searching for people. He didn't dare to ask the third princess for more information, and could only take things step by step, hoping to come into contact with the Devil Lord and Devil King. Just when he thought that he would be safe in the first Devil General's residence, today, he returned to his bedroom to rest after his cultivation. The bedroom of the former first Devil General, Xian Ting, exuded an imposing aura. Qin Wentian was currently staying here. When he stepped into the bedroom, his gaze abruptly changed. There was actually someone inside. His immortal sense swept out, and when he saw the person inside, he couldn't help but to be speechless. Why? I'm not welcomed here? A voice drifted out from within. Qin Wentian pushed open the door, only to see the third princess lying comfortably on his bed. Her slender legs and perfect figure outlined an extremely soul-stirring curve. Qin Wentian bitterly smiled. Princess, aren't you afraid that people from the devil sect would gossip about you like this? Who would know? Even if they knew, who would dare to gossip about this princess? In addition, wouldn't it be even better if others knew of our relationship? The devilish female smiled. Princess, what do you want exactly? Qin Wentian was completely helpless against this devilish female. He couldn't possibly really do anything to her, right? If that was the case, would he be able to leave this devil island? I've told you before, you only need to pretend once. If you can't even do that, would this princess taint you? The voice of the devilish female was cold. Or maybe in your eyes, this princess isn't worthy of you. I don't dare to. Qin Wentian didn't say anything more. At this moment, anything he said would be wrong. As for pretending once, this was the Blackstone Devil sect, and she was the princess of the Blackstone Devil sect. Once he pretended once, the news of the Blackstone Devil sect would definitely spread. At that time, what if this devilish female refused to let him go in the future? Then I won't leave. The devilish female directly laid there. Qin Wentian walked to the front of the bed and stared at her alluring figure, speechless. This devilish female was truly not afraid at all. Don't worry. News of us will spread out in the outside world soon. Your worry has become a reality. The news will spread throughout the devil's doctrine. You can't pretend even if you don't want to. The demoness opened her beautiful eyes and looked at Qin Wentian, who was beside the bed. Princess, do you trust me that much? Maybe I'm a despicable lecher, Qin Wentian said. This consort will allow you to be lecherous, the witch said with a smile. Her beautiful eyes blinked. Her charming eyes were like silk, moving one's soul. Fine. Since Princess is willing to do this, I have no choice but to agree. It's just that I, Qin, beg your highness. I came from the immortal realms to the myriad devil islands for an important matter, and I will definitely have to leave. I hope that Princess won't make things difficult for Qin Wentian when the time comes. Qin Wentian seriously spoke. Since he couldn't do anything to this devilish female, he could only speak the truth. The third princess seriously scrutinized Qin Wentian. Her beautiful eyes stared at his face as she spoke. As expected, this is the reason. Seems like even if I'm willing to marry you, I still wouldn't be able to make you stay. Is it because I don't have enough charm or your ambitions are too great? There's no need to doubt Princess charm. I hope that Princess can spare Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian bitterly smiled. The devilish female's silhouette flashed as she directly stood up. Her hands hooked onto Qin Wentian's body as she moved to Qin Wentian's back. Her body was almost pressed against Qin Wentian's. The feeling of her skin against his, as well as her fragrance, was truly intoxicating. The more you act like this, the more I want to give it a try. The devilish female breathed out a fragrant breath into Qin Wentian's ears before giggling and leaving. Qin Wentian heaved a sigh of relief and sat on the bed. He could still feel the lingering fragrance from the devilish female. He bitterly smiled and shook his head. This time he had no choice but to agree to this devilish female's request. He didn't know if it was a blessing or a calamity. But given the personality of this devilish female, if he didn't agree to her request, she would definitely use all sorts of methods. Qin Wentian wouldn't be able to handle it. And as expected, rumors soon circulated in the devil sect. The newly appointed first devil general actually obtained the love of the third princess, and the two of them were already lovers. In fact, there were even rumors saying that the third princess entered Qin Wentian's bedroom, shocking the entire devil sect. There were also rumors saying that the first devil general, Qin Wentian, would often meet with the third princess, entering her residence to spend time with her. Their relationship was incomparably intimate, but it was unknown if anything had happened between them. This seemed to prove that supreme geniuses would always be matched with empire-toppling beauties. Since ancient times, beauties loved heroes. Back then, despite how outstanding the first devil general Xianting was, he still couldn't win the favor of the third princess. As for Qin Wentian, he domineeringly defeated the first devil general and seized the position of the first devil general, winning the attention of the third princess. Right now, they seem to be in love with each other. The pitiful Qin Wentian didn't even know when he fell in love with the third princess. When Jiyu stared at Qin Wentian with an ambiguous gaze, Qin Wentian shrugged. I really have no relationship with the third princess. In that case, the rumors in the outside world are all fake. In addition, I heard that the third princess did enter your bedroom that day. Sir General, you are truly awesome. Not only did you seize the position of the first devil general in such a short period of time, you even managed to charm the third princess. I'm truly impressed. Jiyu clasped her hands and smiled at Qin Wentian, actually joking around. Seems like I won't be able to explain myself even if I explain. Qin Wentian bitterly smiled. At this moment a voice drifted over. Reporting to General, the third princess invites you over. Qin Wentian's expression froze. He only felt incomparably awkward when he saw Jiyu smiling at him. His face was filled with black lines. Really, it's nothing. Qin Wentian shook his head and walked out. Even Jiyu didn't believe him, let alone those from the devil sect. This time around, things were truly tragic. That devilish female was too ruthless, cutting off all paths of retreat for him. Qin Wentian once again came to the princess' residence only to see the princess walking over to welcome him. Her face was filled with smiles as she helped Qin Wentian tidy his robes. Princess. Qin Wentian had a bitter smile on his face. It's time to get into character. Don't forget what you promised me. The princess smiled seductively. After that, she walked up and hugged his arm. The softness of her touch caused one to reminisce. But Qin Wentian didn't seem to be in the mood to savor this wonderful feeling. Let's go, follow me to see father. I will let father answer your questions for you. The princess spoke. Qin Wentian's countenance alternated between shades of green and white. But now he could only brace himself. Qin Wentian was being hugged by the devilish female as they came to a majestic palace. This place was heavily guarded, and experts were as common as the clouds. In front of them, a muscular figure clad in black had his back facing them. Father, I've brought him here. The devilish female called out, only to see the middle-aged man turning around. His imposing countenance and tyrannical countenance gave off a sense of solemnity and tyranny just by standing there. I pay my respects to the Devil King. Qin Wentian bowed. There's no need to be so polite. The Blackstone Devil King spoke. I've long heard of this lass mentioning you. Since she likes you, you have to treat her well. Don't let her down. This Devil King. Qin Wentian wanted to speak, but he only saw the eyes of the Devil King flashing with a powerful light as he furrowed his brows. The Devil King seemed somewhat unhappy. Father. The devilish female stomped her feet and acted coquettishly. Don't scare him. Don't worry, our relationship is very good. Wentian will definitely treat me well. Let's hope so. If he lets you down, I will definitely kill him. The Devil King coldly spoke, incomparably imposing. This. Qin Wentian was completely dumbfounded. He felt that he had fallen into the devilish female's trap. Princess, we have an agreement. Qin Wentian transmitted his voiceover. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Don't tell me you want to tell my father that you touched his daughter. hugged her, and even slept on the same bed. You were just playing around? The devilish female replied. Qin Wentian completely broke down. He angrily spoke. When did I sleep on the same bed? I've also slept on your bed before, didn't I? The devilish female coldly snorted. As for the matters in the future, let's think of a solution. Qin Wentian sighed in his heart. The Tao rises 1 foot, the devil rises 10. If he knew of the other side of this devil king when he interacted with his daughter, he didn't know if he would break down or go berserk. Lord Father, about the matter, Qin Wentian asked. Wentian, I heard from the last that you came here with your friends from the immortal realms. From what I know, you guys would be teleported to different places, but you still wouldn't be able to leave the devil region at the entrance of the myriad devil islands. This devil region is known as the Fallen Devil region. It's the region closest to the Devil Gate. The Blackstone Devil King spoke. Qin Wentian instantly turned serious. In that case, regardless of their friends, all of them were in the Fallen Devil region. However, even if it's just this Fallen Devil region, there are tens of thousands of devil islands. They might be scattered all over the place. It won't be so easy to find them. The Blackstone Devil King spoke. Qin Wentian frowned. The myriad devil islands were truly boundlessly vast. Just this Fallen Devil region alone was already so terrifying. However, there's still a way to do it. The Blackstone Devil King spoke. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed as he asked, Devil King, what should I do? In this boundlessly vast Fallen Devil region, there's a supreme ruler, and the strongest ruler is none other than the Fallen Devil Emperor of the Fallen Devil Islands. He controls all the islands in the Fallen Devil region, and with a single command, he can make all the islands in the Fallen Devil region search for people for you. The Blackstone Devil King explained. Qin Wentian furrowed his brows. This place wasn't the immortal realms but the myriad devil islands. Let alone devil emperors, even devil kings wouldn't give him face. If he offended a devil emperor, he might even be killed. How difficult was it to get a devil emperor to help him? But no matter how difficult it was, he had to think of a solution. If not, if Huang Shatian and the others succeeded, that would be their doomsday. Coincidentally, not long from now, we will have a chance to head to the Fallen Devil Island. Qin Wentian, do you want to head there together? The Blackstone Devil King suddenly spoke, causing Qin Wentian to start. Why did he feel that something was strange? This feeling was like the Blackstone Devil King had dug a pit, and was waiting for him to jump in. Chapter 1248. Naturally, although Qin Wentian felt that the Blackstone Devil King had a scheme waiting for him, he still believed the Devil King's words. The division of power in the immortal realms was the same. Back then, there were countless cities in the Eastern Sage 13 prefectures, all governed by the Dongshengshan Gate. The Fallen Devil region of the myriad devil islands was the same as well. Many devil islands had their own supreme ruler, the Fallen Devil Emperor. Devil emperors were equivalent to immortal emperors. Devil emperors were the true peak experts of the myriad devil islands. Back then, Emperor, you set the battlefield on the myriad devil islands. In that case, this battle wouldn't be as simple as a battle between two parties. Devil King, why are you heading to the Fallen Devil region? Qin Wentian asked. Since the devil emperors are in charge of all the devil islands, although we are the lords of the devil islands, we are merely helping the devil emperor to govern them. Naturally, we are heading to the Fallen Devil Island to pay our respects to the devil emperor. Not only for my Blackstone Devil sect, all the devil kings of the myriad of devil paths would be heading there to pay their respects to the devil emperor. The Devil King spoke. Like a pilgrimage? Qin Wentian mumbled. You can put it that way. The Fallen Devil Emperor is the supreme ruler of the Fallen Devil region. If you can gain his favor, it wouldn't be too difficult for you to find someone. The Blackstone Devil King spoke, his words causing Qin Wentian's eyes to flicker as he glanced at the devilish female beside him. If this was the case, see. At this moment, Qin Wentian felt a sharp pain in his waist. After that, he only saw the devilish female smiling at him as she spoke in a gentle voice. Wentian, if you gain the favor of the Devil Emperor, would you abandon me? The Blackstone Devil King's gaze landed on Qin Wentian. How can that be? Qin Wentian smiled. This devilish female was too awesome. She was able to guess his thoughts the moment he thought about it. Wentian, your talent is extraordinary. This king has high hopes for you. Work hard in your cultivation, and in the future, this entire island will be yours. For these few days, just stay in the princess residence. If you have time, come and chat with me. As for the Devil General Manor, you temporarily don't need to return. The Blackstone Devil King spoke. Devil King. The Demon King raised his eyebrows again. Qin Wentian immediately swallowed the words he wanted to say and could only say, okay. Wentian, let's go. The witch hugged Qin Wentian's arm and left happily. Qin Wentian wanted to cry but had no tears. He was in pain and happy at the same time. Thus, Qin Wentian began a painful experience that lasted for several days. He was tortured to the point that he wished he was dead, and the rumors within the devil sect became more and more intense. There was even a small piece of news that said that something had already happened between the princess and Qin Wentian, and even the Demon King had paid his respects. It seemed that this Qin Wentian was very likely to be a future candidate for the Demon King. The first Devil General is truly powerful. Not only did he destroy the undefeatable legend of the former first Devil General, Lord Xianting, he even managed to capture the beautiful princess in such a short period of time. That's nothing. Even the Demon King was taken care of. That's what you call amazing. The people of the Devil sect simply prostrated themselves in admiration towards Qin Wentian. Even Juyu was cursing Qin Wentian in the residence of the first Devil General. This shameless and hypocritical bastard, he actually dares to deny it? He has already entered the princess's residence. Shameless, he doesn't dare to admit his actions. After Qi heard of Qin Wentian's glorious deeds, he sighed in admiration. The Saint Lord was truly extraordinary. Lu Xuejia stood on the stairs to her residence. Back then, this was where she met Qin Wentian. But now when she glanced downwards, there was no longer anyone there. When she thought of this, she actually felt a sense of melancholy in her heart. Back then, Qin Wentian fought against the first Devil General, Xianting. How magnificent was that? It was hard for her to forget it. However, the protector whom she once threatened to gouge out his eyes just because he glanced at her body, had already walked further and further away. It was like he was in existence on a completely different level from her. This was the true reason why Lu Xuejia couldn't forget him. Today, Qin Wentian discovered that the devilish female was no longer teasing him. The atmosphere in the devil sect abruptly grew tense. In fact, there were many tyrannical auras in the central devil sect, causing him to feel as though something major was about to happen. However, it was too late for him to hide from the demoness. Since the demoness didn't want to tell him, he didn't ask. Until one day, a powerful demonic aura descended from the sky and enveloped the entire devil sect. Qin Wentian inclined his head and stared at the air. His eyes flashed as he saw a group of experts descending from the sky in the direction of the Blackstone Devil King's residence. They were riding on black Jiao dragons, exuding an incomparably imposing aura. The devilish female also came out. She inclined her head and stared at the sky as she snorted coldly. There was a look of unhappiness in her eyes. These fellows finally came. Ha ha ha, old friends are here to pay a visit. Blackstone, are you not going to come out to welcome us? A voice rang out in the air above the Blackstone Devil sect. Instantly, a terrifying devil path hurricane manifested, exuding a fearsome might, causing the hearts of many to tremble. Seems like an extremely powerful devil character has descended upon the Blackstone Devil sect. Brother Jiao, your presence brings light to my humble abode. The Blackstone Devil King's voice boomed out. A moment later, a powerful might enveloped this entire space as boundless law energy caused the hurricane to calm down. The hegemon of another devil island, a bastard, a bunch of disgusting fellows. The devilish female frowned as she stared at the figures in the air, a look of disgust on her face. This was the first time Qin Wentian saw such an expression on the devilish female's face. Seems like there were things this devilish female couldn't deal with. Demon? Qin Wentian asked. Yes, a devil Jiao that calls himself the Black Jiao Devil King. He came from a neighboring island, and that island was ruled by them. Things there are simply too horrible to look at. I've been there once and it's so disgusting. The devilish female spoke. On the back of the flood dragon, the Black Jiao Devil King's body was gigantic and exuded a dense demonic qi. Beside him stood a young man with a demonic appearance. His 3 eyes gleamed with a cold light, causing people to feel that he was an evil person with a single glance. However, what Qin Wentian noticed was the person behind the demonic young man. That person also had the appearance of a young man, and was extremely demonic. In the center of his brows, a king's imprint could be seen. This was the symbol of the White Tiger people. This man was none other than one of the 200 experts from the Sky Mist Immortal Emperor's side. He was a White Tiger demon immortal chosen by the White Tiger people. His eyes were extremely terrifying and his cultivation base was at the peak of Immortal Foundation. As expected, those who came to the Myriad Devil Islands all have the same idea as me. They would first join the strongest power on the island and seek help for themselves. Qin Wentian silently mused. Right now he already had a certain status in the Blackstone Devil sect. However, that White Tiger people actually managed to get close to the Black Jiao Devil King on another island. At this moment, in the air, the demonic young man beside the Black Jiao Devil King glanced at the devil sect below. Finally, his gaze landed on Qin Wentian's princess residence. Although there was a great distance between them, his demonic eyes were still locked onto the devilish female. Yurua, long time no see. You are still as beautiful as ever. I've always missed you and wanted to bring you back to the Black Jiao Devil Island as soon as possible. The demonic young man laughed evilly, his words causing Qin Wentian's eyes to flash with a strange light as he glanced at the devilish female. So this was what was going on. She actually wanted to use him as a shield? Are we very familiar with each other? Yurua was the name of the devilish female. Her original name was Yen Yurua. Haha Yurua, you are still as humorous as ever. The demonic young man spoke, his voice booming out. The White Tiger people behind him locked onto Qin Wentian as a cold light flashed in his eyes. To think that the enemy of the White Tiger people, Qin Wentian, was actually on this island. What a coincidence. Blackstone, are you not going to invite me down for a seat? The Black Jiao Devil King's voice boomed out like thunder. Prepare the banquet. The Blackstone Devil King spoke. Only then did the experts in the air descend, heading towards the direction of the Blackstone Devil King's palace. The devilish female Yenurua turned and smiled gently at Qin Wentian. Her smile caused Qin Wentian to feel his scalp turning numb. This devilish female, walking to Qin Wentian's side. The devilish female hugged his arm as she spoke in a gentle voice. Wentian, let's go to the banquet. You have to perform well today. If you throw away father's face, he would surely be angry. The devilish female transmitted her voice to Qin Wentian at the same time. Qin Wentian gritted his teeth. This time around, the devilish female's body pressed even tighter against his. He could even feel the softness of a certain part of her body. He could only be speechless. When the devilish female brought Qin Wentian to the Blackstone Devil King's palace, the banquet was already prepared and everyone was seated. In an instant, Qin Wentian felt numerous cold demonic eyes staring at him as a tyrannical pressure gushed over. I'll give you a chance. Move your hand away yourself. The demonic young man beside the Blackstone Devil King coldly spoke to Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. He stared at that pair of demonic eyes filled with confidence. His words were so absolute. In truth, it was the devilish female who was hugging his arm tightly. He didn't make any obvious movements, but when he glanced at the demonic young man as well as the White Tiger people beside him, a faint smile appeared on his face. He stretched out his hand and wrapped it around the slender waist of the devilish female, pulling her body closer to him. His actions were extremely ambiguous. The devilish female smiled sweetly as she glanced at Qin Wentian. That demonic young man stared at Qin Wentian and fell silent for a moment before he laughed. Seems like some people don't want their hands anymore. Blackstone, don't you know that my son likes Yurua? Yurua is my daughter-in-law. What do you mean by this? The Black Jiao Devil King stared at the Blackstone Devil King as he spoke. Brother Black Jiao, how can we stop the matters between men and women? Young people are attracted to each other. The elders can only help them. The first devil general under me, Qin Wentian, is in love with that lass Yurua. I'll naturally help them be together. The Blackstone Devil King spoke. Ever since Qin Wentian was schemed against by the devilish female, he had already decided to be the shield. But the instant he saw the White Tiger people, he understood in his heart that it wasn't a waste for him to be the shield. Just a devil general under your command? The Black Jiao Devil King coldly spoke. Since this is the case, if he dies, Yurua would be able to marry my son. Chapter 1249. The Blackstone Devil King's expression turned cold when he heard this. He then spoke, Brother Black Jiao, Qin Wentian is the first general of my devil path. You saying that he will die? Are you smacking my face? Brother Blackstone, that's not right. The devil generals under you are extremely brave, and my subordinates are also extraordinary. In the past, wasn't it normal for them to die? This time, there's naturally no exception. I believe that my generals are stronger than them. The Black Jiao Devil King laughed uproariously. In addition, if this first general is weak, how can he be worthy of Yurua? Let me help you take a look. Seems like Brother Black Jiao has more powerful subordinates. The Blackstone Devil King coldly spoke. The island controlled by the Black Jiao Devil King was adjacent to his island, and many years ago, there were many battles between them. Although they seemed to be drinking and chatting merrily here, in reality, they weren't on the same side. After that, it was unknown how the Black Jiao Devil King managed to get acquainted with a powerful character on the fallen Devil Island. That powerful character even accepted his son as his foster son. Hence, the Black Jiao Devil King became extremely arrogant, and would often come to his island to provoke and kill people. Every time they fought, the Blackstone Devil King would lose more than they won. That's only natural. Leaving aside the fact that my son is getting closer and closer to the immortal king realm. Even the subordinates he accepted are all extremely powerful. Look at this man. He is a greater demon from the White Tiger people and is incomparably powerful. This time around you guys are going to be in dire straits. The Black Jiao Devil King laughed loudly. His words were impolite, not giving any face at all. Haha, that might not be the case. This time around, I also have many powerful subordinates under me. Brother Black Jiao, you have to be mentally prepared. The Blackstone Devil King laughed heartily. As the two of them laughed, devil might gushed forth, causing this entire space to tremble. Everyone only felt the table shaking. Since this is the case, the rules shall be the same as before. Let's use combat to liven up the mood. How about 3 rounds? The Black Jiao Devil King coldly spoke. Sure. The Blackstone Devil King straightforwardly agreed. Since he is the first general, he naturally has to participate, right? The Black Jiao Devil King pointed at Qin Wentian. Naturally. The Blackstone Devil King coldly spoke. I'm the guest and you're the host. In that case, you guys can send someone out first. The Black Jiao Devil King said directly. Naturally, the host will follow the guest first. Brother Black Jiao, please send someone out first. How would the Blackstone Devil King be fooled so easily? Brother Blackstone is really lacking in spirit. Since that's the case, I'll send someone out first. The Black Jiao Devil King coldly spoke. After that, an expert walked out. This person exuded a terrifying demonic qi that gushed forth. His true form was that of a Jiao dragon, and his strength was extremely terrifying. The Blackstone Devil King glanced at the Blood Butcher. For the first battle, he was prepared to send out the second Devil General, Demon King. At this moment, Qin Wentian suddenly spoke. The Blackstone Devil King stared at Qin Wentian only to hear Qin Wentian speaking. Let's leave the first battle to Xianting. I'm sure with Xianting's strength he would definitely be able to obtain a great victory for the Devil King. The Blackstone Devil King glanced at Qin Wentian. That Saint Beast White Tiger would surely be extremely powerful. Also, the son of the Black Jiao Devil King was extremely terrifying as well. For these two, he planned to send out Xianting and Qin Wentian respectively. As for the first battle, he would leave it to the Blood Butcher. Could it be that Qin Wentian wanted to use Xianting to win the first battle for sure? After that, he would win the next battle to gain face? Fine. Xianting, can you help me obtain a great victory? The Blackstone Devil King stared at Xianting behind him. The ex-first-rank Devil General Xian Ting seemed to have retracted his sharpness. Upon hearing the Devil King's question, he nodded. I will definitely win. Fine, you will fight. The Devil King laughed loudly. After that, Xian Ting walked towards the battlefield, facing his opponent. Using Xian Ting for the first battle? Are you courting death for the next 2 battles? The son of the Black Jiao Devil King glanced at Qin Wentian before turning his gaze onto the third princess, Yan Yuruo, who was sitting beside Qin Wentian. Yuruo, I'm drooling over you. What's the use of following a trash like him? I'm your true love. The devilish young man stared at Yan Yuruo, who was leaning on Qin Wentian. His eyes gleamed with a terrifying coldness as an extremely evil thought appeared in his heart. This slut actually dared to seduce other men. In that case, once she landed in his hands, he would definitely let her know what pain means to wish she was dead. He is my man. The devilish female leaned on Qin Wentian, as though she was extremely attached to him. A look of satisfaction could be seen on her face, causing the devilish young man to want to ravage her and destroy her at the same time. Yuruo, just you wait. The devilish young man had an evil smile on his face. It was unknown if there was a deeper meaning behind his words. The first Devil General had already started fighting against the people of the Black Jiao Devil King. Rumbling sounds shook the heavens and earth. Dark golden devil might, towering golden light, and terrifying sharpness engulfed the area. Qin Wentian calmly sipped his wine. His mind wasn't on the battlefield. He was thinking that since he and the expert from the White Tiger people could reach such a level, the others would be able to do the same as well. In that case, during this trip to the Fallen Devil Island, he might encounter many familiar faces. Most probably, they would all want to act against the Fallen Devil Emperor. Once they gained the favor of the Fallen Devil Emperor, they would be able to win half of the adjudication battle. The battles continued. Many gazes were on the battlefield. The former First Devil General Xian Ting, as the undefeated number 1 general of Qin Wentian, was naturally extremely powerful. In this battle, he won against his opponent, and even killed his opponent in a domineering manner. The expression of the Black Jiao Devil King didn't change at all. He was extremely indifferent to the death of his subordinate. Since it was the subordinate of the Blackstone Devil King who acted first, he only knew that in the next 2 battles, the Blackstone Devil King would definitely regret it. I'll have to trouble Brother White Tiger then. The demonic-looking young man spoke to the White Tiger Greater Demon beside him. That White Tiger Greater Demon walked out. His cold demonic eyes stared fixedly at Qin Wentian. This young man who had a huge grudge with the White Tiger people, let him be the one to kill him. According to what Bai Mao said, this man once roasted white tigers for food. Today he wanted to eat him alive. Come out and receive your death. The White Tiger Greater Demon coldly spoke. The demonic-looking young man smiled at Yuruo and Qin Wentian. Yuruo, don't feel heartache after this. After he dies, I will take good care of you. Qin Wentian smiled, but didn't say anything. He continued sitting there unmoving, as though he had no intention to fight. Everyone frowned when they saw this scene. Was he afraid to fight? Wentian. The Blackstone Devil King stared at Qin Wentian. The third princess also stared at Qin Wentian, as though they were waiting for him to fight. He isn't worthy enough to fight against me. Qin Wentian calmly spoke, his words causing the expert from the White Tiger people to let out a thunderous roar, causing the entire area to tremble as a tempest gushed forth. Brother White Tiger, there's no need to be angry. The demonic-looking young man calmly spoke. He stared at Yuruo. Is this your man? He doesn't dare to fight? Brother Blackstone, as the first Devil General, why are you so cowardly? The Black Jiao Devil King spoke. Reporting to the Devil King, there's someone outside requesting an audience. He claims to be a subordinate of the first Devil General, Qin Wentian. At this moment, someone came in and reported. Qin Wentian glanced at the Devil King and nodded. He's one of my men. Let him pass. The Devil King spoke. After that, Chida's figure stepped out. The eyes of the expert from the White Tiger people flashed. This was also one of the 200 experts. There were actually 2 of them in this devil sect. Saint Lord. Chida walked to the side of Qin Wentian. This vile beast is too noisy. Kill him but don't shatter him. Leave him alive and roast him to go with wine. Qin Wentian spoke. His words caused the white tiger to roar once more. The others all stared at Qin Wentian with bewilderment. This fellow actually wanted his subordinate to fight against the white tiger? Was he crazy? Even the devilish female felt that Qin Wentian was a little unreliable as she stared at him in bewilderment. Right. She nodded. He then stepped out, moving towards the battlefield. As though it was only natural. The eyes of the Blackstone Devil King flashed. He was somewhat suspicious. Would Qin Wentian be too careless? The people chosen by the Black Jiao Devil Island wouldn't be simple. Can your subordinate really do it? Even the devilish female transmitted her voice to Qin Wentian. Also, even if you avoid this battle, your next battle would be against that little bastard. Isn't this just to your liking? Qin Wentian smiled at the devilish female. Seeing the self-confidence in Qin Wentian's eyes, the devilish female felt that she couldn't see through this fellow anymore. Although this fellow had been tortured miserably during these few days, the moment he faced a battle, he would radiate a mystical glow. His self-confidence was so strong that it was terrifying. If he is really so strong, it wouldn't be a bad thing to marry him. The devilish female mused. At this moment, the white tiger let out a thunderous roar as baleful qi towered up into the sky. The innate techniques of the white tiger people were all unleashed, causing the heavens and earth to crumble as the void trembled, wanting to destroy everything. The countenance of the Blackstone Devil King changed. For truly powerful characters, one would only know when they acted. It was impossible to tell with the naked eye. And the moment this white tiger acted, he understood that even Xianting wouldn't be able to win against it, let alone a subordinate of Qin Wentian. Boom. At this instant, a fearsome battle light gushed forth, engulfing the heavens and earth. A divine ape appeared, standing tall in the air, resembling a divine battle ape. His entire body radiated resplendent battle light as law energy flowed around him, exuding boundless might. Only to see Qi lifting his palm as a fearsome battle palm imprint slammed out, causing the entire space to tremble. Using offense to counter offense, he clashed head-on with the white tiger. Boom. The earth was about to shatter as a violent wind ravaged the area. With just a single strike, the two of them soared up into the air. The spectators inclined their heads, staring at the battle above. The white tiger transformed back into his true form, resembling a towering baleful god, while Qi transformed into a battle saint, unexcelled in the world. The two of them continued to exchange attacks, causing the heavens and earth to rumble as the void trembled. The spectators below were all dazzled as their hearts pounded violently. How powerful! The third princess's heart trembled. This subordinate of Qin Wentian was actually so powerful. The gazes of Xianting, the second devil general, and the others froze. This was simply. Qin Wentian quietly tasted his wine. Although this white tiger people had comprehended his body of laws for a longer period of time, and had taken that step earlier, he didn't manage to enter the sacred academy. Qi was someone from the Battle Saint tribe, and had entered the sacred academy for cultivation. At the end of the Dao lecture, he finally took that step and comprehended immortal king might. Given his combat prowess, how could he be afraid of his opponent? Devil King, seems like there will be white tiger meat to accompany your wine today. Qin Wentian laughed. The Blackstone Devil King started before he started laughing uproariously. However, his heart wasn't calm at all. Why did the Saint Beast White Tiger come to the Devil Islands? A subordinate of Qin Wentian actually referred to Qin Wentian as the Saint Lord. To think that he was actually so powerful. What background did Qin Wentian have in the immortal realms exactly? Chapter 1250. The devilish female leaned on Qin Wentian and transmitted her voice. Are you acquainted with that white tiger? Why do I feel that there's a grudge between the two of you? Could it be that he is one of the people you are looking for? Yes. Qin Wentian didn't deny it. The eyes of the devilish female flashed with a bright light as she smiled and transmitted back. What is your identity in the immortal realms? Why don't you guess? Qin Wentian's gaze landed on the face of the devilish female. I can't be bothered to guess. No matter what identity you have in the immortal realms, it's the same in the myriad devil islands. Since you landed in the hands of this princess, You can forget about escaping from me. The devilish female's lips curled up in an arc, causing Qin Wentian to roll his eyes. The devilish female had a complacent smile on her face. On the battlefield, the roars grew even more intense, accompanied by screams of agony. Qin Wentian inclined his head and stared in the air only to see that Qida already had the absolute advantage. His terrifying attacks were all blasting into the white tiger. "Save me!" The white tiger roared in rage. However, no one acted. At this moment, an intense cold light flashed in the white tiger's eyes. He suddenly opened his mouth and spat out a breath that caused people's hearts to tremble. This breath was formed from the purest baleful qi, transforming into a ball of baleful light that could destroy everything. Boom! An extremely terrifying aura suddenly erupted forth from Qin Wentian. A beam of sword light transformed into a great rock that shot up into the sky, akin to a bolt of lightning. Impudent! The Black Jiao Devil King coldly snorted, actually lifting his hand to interfere. Humph! The Blackstone Devil King also snorted coldly. A mountainous pressure descended from the sky, blocking the Black Jiao Devil King's attack. The sword light descended, directly piercing through the head of the white tiger, leaving behind a trail of blood. Qida's body explosively retreated. The terrifying baleful qi ball lost control and exploded. Terrifying destructive currents wreaked havoc, instantly breaking through Qida's defense, leaving a bloody wound on his body. The Blackstone Devil King waved his hand as a gigantic devil palm appeared, blocking the destructive baleful qi, shattering it apart. Following which, his palm reached out into the void and grabbed the huge body of the white tiger. "Hey sure, what do you mean by this?" The Black Jiao Devil King was still sitting there, but an extremely tyrannical devil might erupted from him. Using magic treasures to kill others is called sparring? To use such despicable methods in my devil sect, do you think I don't exist? The Blackstone Devil King coldly spoke. If the Black Jiao Devil King is a sore loser, feel free to leave. You are the one who suggested this spar, not me, Blackstone. I can't afford to lose. The Black Jiao Devil King's expression was extremely cold. He's the next one, right? The Black Jiao Demon King pointed at Qin Wentian. It depends on which one of you is going to fight, Qin Wentian said. My son, it's hard to avoid casualties. Demon King, you must be careful. You've already lost 2 rounds, Qin Wentian said. You are truly arrogant. The Black Jiao Devil King's voice was ice cold. Come out. There's no rush. Qin Wentian calmly spoke. He then turned to the Blackstone Devil King. If this white tiger meat is roasted, the taste would be extremely delicious and it's also extremely nutritious. Devil King, why don't you roast some white tiger meat to liven things up? Right. The Blackstone Devil King faintly spoke. With a wave of his hand, a fearsome devil fire landed on the gigantic white tiger beside him, instantly igniting it. He controlled the temperature of the fire as the white tiger meat was gradually cooked. Brother Black Jiao, do you want some? This is the meat of a saint beast. The Blackstone Devil King ordered for the meat to be sliced up. The Black Jiao Devil King turned ashen. This white tiger was someone he brought here. After it was defeated, it was actually roasted in front of him? How ridiculous! Although he didn't care about the life or death of the white tiger, this was a humiliation to him. No need, you guys just enjoy yourselves. The Black Jiao Devil King coldly snorted. Brother Blackstone, you are getting more and more arrogant. Be careful that you might regret this in the future. Haha, didn't I learn this from Brother Black Jiao? The Blackstone Devil King laughed uproariously. This Black Jiao Devil King would frequently come to their devil path to harass them, and was getting more and more impudent. In fact, he even said that his daughter was already reserved by the son of the Black Jiao Devil King. This time around, they had already won 2 out of the 3 battles. It could be considered that they had vented out a mouthful of resentment. The white tiger meat was served and everyone started to enjoy it, feeling incomparably carefree. Yen Yurua took out a piece of white tiger meat, but she didn't eat it herself. She fed it to Qin Wentian as she leaned against him and spoke in a gentle voice. Wentian, eat this. Qin Wentian opened his mouth, and the devilish female really fed him the meat, not caring about her status. Upon seeing the look of enjoyment on Qin Wentian's face, The eyes of the son of the Black Jiao Devil King spat out fire as his killing intent surged wildly. This devilish female is truly powerful. At this moment, Qin Wentian didn't care about the son of the Black Jiao Devil King. Instead, he was thinking about the devilish female beside him. When she acted imposingly, she was lofty, as though she was unreachable. When she acted seductively, she could even serve others in such a manner. Even if this was just an act, it wasn't something an ordinary princess who was pampered and spoiled since childhood would be able to do. One could only say that this Yin Yurua was a natural seductress. Such a devilish female, Qin Wentian naturally didn't dare to want her. If not, he was afraid that Qing'er and Qingqing would be plotted against by this devilish female. The people here were enjoying the taste of the white tiger meat, while the people of the Black Jiao Devil King all had ashen expressions. This time around, they could be considered to have lost. But as long as they could kill that young man in the last round, the 2 losses earlier didn't count as anything. Are you done? The devilish young man stared at Qin Wentian. Since you are so anxious, I will grant you your wish. Qin Wentian soared up into the air, instantly standing in the air. The devilish young man inclined his head as a dark light flashed in his eyes, exuding a terrifying killing intent. His true form is a Black Jiao. Not only is his offense and defense powerful, he's also proficient in corrosive devil energy. You must be careful. The devilish female grew more cautious as she transmitted her voice to Qin Wentian. The devilish young man's silhouette flashed as he soared up into the air. However, at this moment, a dazzling light erupted from Qin Wentian. After that, the devilish young man only saw countless ancient characters and sword might descending from the sky, wanting to obstruct him from soaring up. Lifting his arm, he roared in rage. His arm transformed into an incomparably thick flood dragon arm, tearing everything apart as he rushed towards Qin Wentian. So weak. The devilish young man coldly snorted, mocking. At this moment, an ancient halberd of darkness appeared in Qin Wentian's hands. His entire body was shrouded by a darkness aura as law energy circulated around him. A cold smile appeared on his face. Careful. The Black Jiao Devil King frowned as he transmitted his voice to his son. The devilish young man also sensed something. But at the next instant, Qin Wentian's silhouette vanished from his original location. Like a heavenly rock, he instantly appeared before the devilish young man, and stabbed out with his ancient halberd. Roar! A terrifying vortex of destruction appeared, causing the entire space to tremble. The ancient halberd transformed into the halberd of a death god, piercing downwards. In the blink of an eye, Qin Wentian had already infused his terrifying killing intent into his halberd, transforming it into a halberd strike of death. Earlier, the demonic young man was still saying that his attack was too weak. The devilish young man couldn't even react in time. He could only frenziedly unleash his aura, directly transforming into an incomparably gigantic flood dragon, malevolent and terrifying, spitting out terrifying corrosive darkness energy. However, how terrifying was that vortex of destruction? It transformed into a tempest, instantly engulfing the flood dragon within. A malevolent face appeared within the vortex of destruction, slashing towards the head of the flood dragon. Boom, boom, boom. The scales on the body of the flood dragon trembled, radiating a terrifying dark devilish light. An ear-piercing sound rang out as the body of the flood dragon trembled violently, causing the heavens and earth to tremble. That incomparably gigantic flood dragon directly slammed into the ground. The silhouette of the Black Jiao Devil King flashed, transforming into an even larger flood dragon, enveloping his son within it, only to see the body of the little black flood dragon trembling violently, emitting miserable screams. It was extremely miserable, completely unlike the arrogant devilish young man earlier. You dare to cheat? The devil might from the Black Jiao Devil King gushed forth frenziedly. However, before Qin Wentian, the Blackstone Devil King stood there and coldly spoke. Black Jiao Devil King, if you can't afford to lose, just scram. Stop embarrassing yourself. Qin Wentian defeated your son fair and square. When did I cheat? Everyone understood that Qin Wentian was able to instantly defeat the devilish young man, because he caught him off guard. After a probing attack, he suddenly unleashed a terrifying killing move. That pitiful black flood dragon was too arrogant, and when he was careless, the killing move directly blasted out, resulting in him being insta-defeated. In addition, that strike was sufficient to heavily injure him. Even if he didn't die, he would at least lose a layer of skin. Scram. The Black Jiao Devil King coldly spoke. In a battle between devil cultivators, victory is the goal. Black Jiao Devil King, if you want to fall out with me, I will accompany you. The Blackstone Devil King spoke with cold arrogance. The auras of the two of them gushed forth violently, causing the atmosphere to be extremely oppressive. The Black Jiao Devil King glared at his opponent. After that he icily spoke, Blackstone, very good. Let us meet again on the fallen Devil Island. After speaking, the gigantic body of the flood dragon stirred up the wind, and clouds as devil might gushed forth. Go! With a thunderous roar, the flood dragon soared into the air. His subordinates all soared up into the air as well. The Blackstone Devil King inclined his head as his heart trembled. Devil King, seems like we have truly offended them this time around. Qin Wentian shook his head and smiled. Don't worry, the Black Jiao Devil King is used to being arrogant. As long as we defeat them, we would definitely offend them. This victory is worth celebrating. The Blackstone Devil King stared at Qin Wentian with a deep meaning in his eyes. Let's continue enjoying the White Tiger banquet. Qin Wentian nodded. After that, he returned to his seat only to see the devilish female leaning against him again, resembling a loving couple. Since they have all left, my mission should be completed, right? Qin Wentian transmitted his voice to the devilish female. He couldn't endure it at all. Hee, but what if I really fell in love with you? The devilish female leaned into Qin Wentian's embrace, causing Qin Wentian to feel incomparably awkward. This devilish female was getting more and more impudent. If this continued, he would be pushed down by her sooner or later. Haha, lass, why are you acting so lovey-dovey in front of your father? This time around, after we return from the fallen Devil Island, I will let you marry Wentian. A grown girl can't be kept at home. The Devil King laughed uproariously, causing Qin Wentian to feel his entire body turning cold. The devilish female stared at Qin Wentian with a smile, her eyes filled with charm. After we return to the fallen Devil Island, I must think of a way to flee. Qin Wentian mused. Definitely. Chapter 1251. As Qin Wentian was musing, the third princess gently spoke to the Blackstone Devil King. I will listen to father. Ha, good. Wentian, this daughter of mine is so gentle and understanding. You better not bully her. The Blackstone Devil King laughed uproariously. Qin Wentian's face was filled with black lines. Yes, gentle and understanding. Oh heavens! Qin Wentian only felt that he was completely tricked by this devilish female. But at this moment, the experts in the surroundings all turned envious gazes over. This was especially so for the former First Devil General Xianting. His gaze, which had always been sharp in the past, was now extremely dim. Before this, there were already rumors that the third princess might have fallen in love with the First Devil General Qin Wentian. And today, everyone could clearly see how much the princess cared about Qin Wentian. Their feelings were truly deep. The First Devil General with outstanding talent matched up with the princess was truly a match made in heaven. Now that even the Devil King said this, everything was already destined. Seems like Qin Wentian would be able to hug the beauty back home. How envious! Qin Wentian felt an impulse to cry when he saw the envious gazes of the crowd. The Saint Lord is the Saint Lord. There would always be beauties accompanying him wherever he goes. Since ancient times, beauties love heroes. Given the Saint Lord's talent, no matter where he is, he would always be able to shine with radiance. No wonder the hearts of many females would fall in love with him. Qida stared at Qin Wentian as he nodded silently. His reverence for Qin Wentian grew stronger and stronger. Right now, the Saint Lord's strength was probably above his. The speed of his growth was too terrifying. Even that protector Juyu most probably had some feelings for the Saint Lord. However, Juyu was also very intelligent and knew her own limits. She wouldn't show it on her face. The atmosphere of the banquet was very good. Everyone ate the delicious white tiger meat, and were extremely happy. Only Qin Wentian had a heavy heart. The devilish female was clinging onto his body. The temptation was extremely strong. Qin Wentian could only do his best to endure the pain. After the banquet ended, the Blackstone Devil King commanded everyone to leave. Only Qin Wentian and the third princess stayed behind. Even Qida left. Wentian, I'm very satisfied with this son-in-law of yours. Since you are an immortal realm cultivator and cultivate immortal energy, in addition to your outstanding talent, I naturally won't allow you to cultivate the devil path. However, when I roamed the myriad devil islands, I managed to obtain an extremely tyrannical cultivation art by chance. This cultivation art has always been treasured by me and I have no way to cultivate it. Now just treat it as Yurua's dowry. The Blackstone Devil King spoke to Qin Wentian. Just when Qin Wentian wanted to reject, the Devil King Wentian, the Devil Qin Wentian said. If you don it I Devil Wentian and you it I Yurua Wuden, said. Qin Wentian. You. The. Qin Wentian's heart was dripping blood. He didn't even have a chance to speak. How would the pitiful Qin Wentian know that this Devil King and the third princess were working together to deal with him? How could he even have the strength to retaliate? If Qin Wentian knew the truth, he would surely howl in sorrow. Like daughter like father, although the Blackstone Devil King was imposing and tyrannical, he would do anything for his daughter. This was simply acting shamelessly, not even giving Qin Wentian a chance to refute. Many thanks, father. The third princess smiled at the Devil King, gently thanking him, silently musing that her father was the one who understood her heart. Come with me. The Blackstone Devil King spoke. The third princess pulled Qin Wentian along as they walked forward. Right now, no matter where Qin Wentian jumped to, there was no way for him to clear his name. How could he trust the third princess? The Blackstone Devil King had his own treasure vault. This treasure hall could only be opened with his unique imprint. It was already an extremely powerful treasure. After entering, there were many hidden doors. The Blackstone Devil King brought Qin Wentian through one of them, and there were many Devil Path jade slips here. The Blackstone Devil King walked to one of the jade slips and took it down, passing it to Qin Wentian. Take a look. An intense devil chi gushed forth from this jade slip. Qin Wentian opened it, and sent his immortal sense into it. In an instant, countless runes floated into his mind. It was as though he was immersed in the boundless blackness of the runes, unceasingly absorbing the true intent of each rune. Immortal Devil Transformation Art? Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. He clasped his hands together, closing the jade slip. This wasn't a cultivation art. It was an extremely wondrous art. More accurately speaking, it was something that Wuxia of the Immortal Realms created to conceal his identity when he came to the myriad Devil Islands. Most probably, the identity of this person was sensitive, and he didn't want to be exposed. That was why he created the Immortal Devil Transformation Art. However, he was definitely a supreme genius and his cultivation base was extremely high. If not, he wouldn't have such an ability. Yes, this jade slip has already been placed here for many years. To me, it's useless. Since you came here today, I'll pass it to you. The simplest point is, if it's inconvenient for Wuxia to travel to the myriad Devil Islands, you can cultivate it to conceal your identity. Also, there seems to be a devilization technique in this art, causing the fiend god energy in your body to go berserk. Although I don't hope for you to cultivate to this level, it would still be useful if you have no other choice. The Blackstone Devil King spoke again. Qin Wentian nodded his head lightly. Since this is the case, thank you Devil King for your generous gift. Qin Wentian was dragged here by the Blackstone Devil King. There was no way for him to reject. We are all family, there's no need to be so polite. I will wait for the day when you change the way you address me. The Blackstone Devil King patted Qin Wentian on his shoulder as he spoke. Qin Wentian had a face filled with black lines. Qin Wentian bid his farewell, and followed the devilish female back to the princess residence. He then spoke to her. Princess, the matter I, Qin, promised you has already been done. When can I explain it to the Devil King? Why? You've already accepted the betrothal gift, and my innocence has been tainted by you. Now you want to abandon me? Yen Yurua regained her loftiness and arrogance. Her slender figure stood in front of Qin Wentian, exuding a mesmerizing aura. It was very hard to imagine that before this, she was still acting like a little girl, clinging on to Qin Wentian. Tainted my innocence? Princess, don't wrongly accuse me, okay? Qin Wentian didn't know whether to laugh or cry. His innocence was the one that was tainted. No matter what, we already had a physical relationship. I've never been so intimate with a man before. Am I so ugly that you would fear me like a snake or a scorpion? Yen Yirua lowered her head, instantly transforming into a pitiful look. She walked to the side of Qin Wentian and lightly leaned on Qin Wentian, as though she was wronged. Wentian, I want to be your woman. The devilish female spoke in a gentle voice, lightly hugging Qin Wentian. Her alluring body pressed against Qin Wentian, causing Qin Wentian to almost collapse. Who would be able to subdue this devilish female? Qin Wentian finally returned to the residence of the first devil general. He discovered that the devil knights in the residence were all staring at him with a strange light in their eyes, as though they were filled with worship. Right now in the entire devil sect, who wouldn't worship Qin Wentian? Leaving aside his unparalleled combat prowess, he even managed to win the heart of a princess. In fact, there were even rumors saying that the princess even snuggled up in the arms of the devil general in front of everyone with a sweet expression on her face. The prince consort of the devil sect has returned. When Juyu saw Qin Wentian, a smile was also on her face. Qin Wentian shrugged. He had no way to explain anything. Juyu, I might leave the devil sect and follow the devil king to the fallen devil island. Qin Wentian spoke to Juyu, his words causing Juyu's expression to stiffen. When will you return? She naturally had heard of the fallen devil island before. That was the sacred ground of the fallen devil region. However, she had never had the chance to go there before. Right now, the devil king wanted to bring Qin Wentian there. In fact, he might even have a chance to meet with the devil emperor. I'm not sure, maybe he won't return. Qin Wentian calmly spoke. He didn't come to the myriad devil islands for a mere devil sect. He came here for the adjudication battle, and also to temper himself. For this trip to the fallen devil island, he would definitely fight to enter the core region of the fallen devil region. Only by doing so would he be able to influence the entire fallen devil region. Juyu's gaze abruptly dimmed. Qin Wentian's words seemed to have caused her to be at a loss of what to do. After this trip, there was a possibility that he wouldn't return? What about the third princess? Juyu asked. I have a headache as well. That devilish female is too difficult to deal with. Qin Wentian bitterly smiled as he shook his head. Juyu was stunned when she heard this. You are saying that the third princess is pestering you? Qin Wentian shook his head. Juyu, even if I don't return, I will still do my best to get the devil king to take care of you. However, I have no way to predict what will happen in the future. Hence, you should make the most of your time and imprint all the cultivation materials you want into your mind. Juyu fell silent for a moment. She knew that Qin Wentian was serious as she nodded her head. For the next period of time, Qin Wentian stayed in his own residence to cultivate the immortal devil transformation art. This art wasn't too difficult for him, and was easy to comprehend. During these days, no one came to disturb him. Even the devilish female seemed to have quietened down, temporarily sparing him. Only until a period of time later, outside the palace of the first devil general, an attendant of the devil king came to pay his respects. However, the attendant now was much more polite. When he saw Qin Wentian coming out, he immediately bowed. Sir General, the devil king invites you to set off. Right. Qin Wentian was long prepared in his heart. He brought Chido along as he walked out of the devil palace. Juyu followed behind, watching as Qin Wentian soared up into the air and gradually vanished. Juyu's eyes were slightly moist. After this farewell, she had a feeling that they might never meet again in the future. This young man who appeared for a short period of time in her life was as dazzling as a shooting star. In the central devil palace, the devil king brought a group of people and set off. Not only Qin Wentian, there was also the princess and the attendant of the devil king. Their destination was none other than the fallen devil island. In the devil palace Lu Xuejia was in. Lu Xuejia, who was clad in simple long robes, yet exuded a soul-stirring aura, was still standing at the top of the stairs. She inclined her head and stared in the direction of the central devil palace. That person, has he left? Sir General, Qin Wentian has already left with the Devil King. At the bottom of the stairs, someone came up to report. Lu Xuejia didn't look at him. She quietly stood there, allowing her long robes to flutter in the wind. Her heart was also moving with the wind. Chapter 1252. The Fallen Devil Island was the largest island in the Fallen Devil region, and was also the strongest. On this island, the kings of the Fallen Devil region resided. This Devil Island was like a world of its own. Countless powerful existences resided here, as well as terrifying resources. On this Devil Island, everything that should be here could be found. At this moment, at the border of the Fallen Devil Island, there were many experts flying through the air, looking travel-worn. These experts either rode war chariots or rode on greater demons, exuding an imposing aura. All of them were terrifying characters. However, the people of the Fallen Devil Island didn't find this strange because every 100 years, the same thing would happen. Other than those younger than 100 years old, the other experts were already used to it and knew why they came here. In addition, as the strongest island in the Fallen Devil region, it was a place with the highest concentration of resources. The flow of people here was already terrifying, let alone the birthday celebration of the Fallen Devil Emperor every 100 years. In the airspace above the island, a group of experts soared through the air. These people were none other than Qin Wentian and his group. Devil King, aren't there too many people here? Qin Wentian came from the border of the Devil Path and discovered that there were many people heading towards the Fallen Devil Island. When he stepped on the island, the air was filled with experts. How can there not be many people attending the birthday celebration of the Devil Emperor? You must know that even if many people didn't come here to offer their congratulations, they wouldn't want to miss out on the grand occasion of the Fallen Devil Island. The birthday celebration of the Devil Emperor is held once every 100 years, and is the most lively period of the Fallen Devil Island. What cultivation realm did the Devil Emperor have? He actually celebrated a birthday celebration every 100 years? Qin Wentian mumbled. To stellar martial cultivators, a birthday celebration wasn't that important. This was especially so for devil emperors who had lived for countless years. If a birthday celebration was held every 100 years, how many years would he have experienced? The birthday celebration of the Devil Emperor is merely an opportunity. In the boundlessly vast Fallen Devil region, there are tens of thousands of devil paths. The controllers of these devil islands would have to pay a visit to the Devil Emperor eventually. But the Devil Emperor wouldn't be able to find time to meet them often. As time passed, the controllers of the Devil Islands would gather once every 100 years. Understood. Qin Wentian nodded lightly. Father, where are we going? The devilish female was still leaning on Qin Wentian as she asked the Blackstone Devil King. Let's go and see your elder sister. The Devil King sighed. Oh. The devilish female replied in a low voice. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. This devilish female seemed to be a little dispirited. In addition, Yen Yurua was the third princess, but Qin Wentian has never met her elder brother or elder sister before. They didn't mention anything about her before, and from what the Devil King said, it seemed like Yen Yurua's elder sister was on this Fallen Devil Island. The Blackstone Devil King and the others continued on their way. Qin Wentian stared down from the air. He could sense how prosperous this island was. Immortal Foundation experts could be seen everywhere, and even immortal kings could be seen occasionally. My elder sister is the eldest in the clan. She came to the Fallen Devil Island with my father a long time ago, and got to know a young devil cultivator from a major clan. She fell in love with him, but my father objected because that young man is extremely scheming. He felt that my brother-in-law wanted to make use of him to seize power in the clan. However, my elder sister was stubborn and insisted on marrying him. My father left in anger, while my mother was worried about my elder sister, and decided to stay behind. The devilish female Yen Yurua transmitted her voice to Qin Wentian. After that, things were just like what my father predicted. My brother-in-law made use of my elder sister, and in that battle for power, my mother died. However, my brother-in-law's status in the clan rose by a lot, and it's said that he is one of the successors. As for my elder sister, she has also stabilized her position as the first wife of the clan. Because of this, there was a rift between my father and my sister. My father thought that my brother-in-law killed my mother, and my sister blamed my father for not staying. Otherwise, it would not have ended like this. Their relationship has always been stiff. However, they are father and daughter after all. My father still worried about my sister. The last time I came, he took me to see her. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. He didn't expect the Blackstone Devil King to have such a history. Seems like the wife of the Blackstone Devil King must be an extremely powerful character at the Devil King level. If not, she wouldn't have played such a role in the battle for power. On the Fallen Devil Island, the Azure Flame clan was one of the many powerful devil clans. Their foundations were extremely deep, and their experts were as common as the clouds. Even in a place like the Fallen Devil Island, their roots were extremely deep. Outside the Azure Flame clan, Qin Wentian and the others arrived. Before their eyes was a majestic and imposing ancient castle. Both sides of the castle were guarded by experts. All of them were Devil Foundation experts. Who are you? The guards at the front brandished their devil spears, blocking their path. Go and report that Yin Yusin's father is here. The Blackstone Devil King calmly spoke. The expressions of the guards froze before they nodded. I'll have to trouble Senior to wait here. After that, they hurriedly went to report. Not long after, a group of experts came to welcome them. They spoke to the Blackstone Devil King and the others. Young Master Tua and Madame Tua ordered us to come out and welcome you all. Please enter. Azure Flame Tua is so arrogant. He isn't coming out to welcome us personally. The Blackstone Devil King coldly snorted. No matter what, he was still Azure Flame Tuo's father-in-law. Senior, young Master Tua and Madame Tua are currently preparing a banquet. That person smiled. The Blackstone Devil King coldly snorted and led the way. After entering the Azure Flame Devil clan, the size of this devil castle was comparable to the Blackstone Devil sect. They had to advance with blinding speed before they arrived at one of the residences. Azure Flame Tua pays my respects to father-in-law. The moment they entered the residence, they saw two figures leading a group of people out to welcome them. The person in the lead had an elegant demeanor and was extremely handsome. He was at the peak of Devil Foundation and had a spirited look in his eyes. He smiled and bowed to the Blackstone Devil King, but there wasn't too much respect in his eyes. As for the woman beside him, she was extremely beautiful and exuded a sense of elegance. Although she wasn't as young and sexy as the devilish female, she radiated a mature charm that would cause people to be mesmerized. The Blackstone Devil King glanced at Azure Flame Tua but didn't say anything. Yin Yusin calmly spoke when she saw this scene. Father, let's sit down and talk. After speaking, she turned and sat down. From this, one could see that the relationship between the two of them was very distant. The Blackstone Devil King sighed silently in his heart. The group of them all sat down. Azure Flame Tua had a smile on his face as he spoke. Father-in-law, the banquet is a little rushed, please don't blame me. If you have any requests, feel free to speak. I don't dare to. The Blackstone Devil King coldly replied. Azure Flame Tua didn't mind. He smiled at the devilish female beside the Blackstone Devil King. Yuruwa is getting more and more beautiful. Her demeanor is just like her elder sister back then, causing me to recall the first time I met her. Yuruwa, how's your cultivation base now? Yin Yusin glanced at the devilish female as she asked. 9th level. The devilish female replied. Not bad. Your cultivation base has already caught up to elder sister. It's just that this final step is the hardest to cross. Elder sister spent many years before she managed to peak at the threshold. You should also work hard and hope that there will be a day when you can find that threshold and step past it. Yin Yusin's tone was filled with the tone of an elder. Back then when she married into the Azure Flame clan, Yuruwa was still very young. MHM. The devilish female nodded. It's just that the Blackstone Devil Island is too small. Why don't you stay on the Fallen Devil Island in the future? This island would be more beneficial to your future. How would you be able to grow if you are confined to a single island? On this fallen devil island, there are countless powerful devil clans and sections. It's also good that your brother-in-law has many friends who are all extraordinary characters. Yen Yusin's tone was filled with maturity. However, the devilish female merely smiled and glanced at Qin Wentian beside her. I've already found my home. As she spoke, she actually leaned closer to Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian, who was silently drinking his wine, had a face filled with black lines. How long was he going to be a shield for? This was a family matter of the Blackstone Devil King. He didn't want to interfere. Upon seeing this scene, Yen Yusin furrowed her brows. After that, she surveyed Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian could feel her burning gaze on him. He inclined his head and nodded with a smile, indicating politeness. Sir, where are you from? What's your background like? Yen Yusin bluntly asked, not bothering to evade this impolite question. The first devil general under me. The Blackstone Devil King was clearly unhappy with his daughter's question as he coldly replied, Father, you haven't changed at all. Yen Yusin stared at the Blackstone Devil King. In the past, when I asked you to help me, you rejected me. How short-sighted. Now this concerns the future of Yuruwa. Yet you still act so casually, not caring about her future at all. So what if the first devil general under you is the first devil general? He's just a subordinate of yours. How high can he climb? Elder sis, I like him myself. Aren't you going a little overboard by saying this? The third princess couldn't help but feel a little angry when she saw how direct her elder sister's words were. Yuruwa, you can be willful when you are young, but your father can't. On this fallen devil island, I can find any young man with an extraordinary background for you, and that person would be countless times more noble compared to the first devil general. Have you ever thought about your future? Do you want to stay on that devil island forever? Is your future very strong? You have never understood the person I like. How would you know that any random person you choose would be stronger than him? The tone of the third princess hardened as she coldly replied. Yuruwa, elder sis is thinking for your sake. Don't be so immature, be more logical. Yen Yusin spoke loudly. What you mean by logical? Is merely you thinking that you are infallible. The third princess hugged Qin Wentian's arm. Since I've already made my choice, there's naturally no need for others to say anything. Unreasonable. Yen Yusin slammed her palm on the table. Don't be angry. Azure Flame Tua, who was beside Yen Yusin, spoke in a light voice. After all, Yuruwa has always lived on the Blackstone Devil Island, and has seen fewer people. Her understanding of some things might be a little off. Let her familiarize herself with this place, and things would naturally improve. If you want to say that I'm ignorant, just say it directly. Are you trying to tell me that the experts on this fallen devil island are as many as the clouds and geniuses are endless? The reason why I feel that the person I like is so outstanding is because my knowledge is shallow. The third princess coldly mocked. Father, I have no way to continue with this banquet. Chapter 1253. Yuruwa. Yen Yusin called out. Forget it, if you like him then so be it. I won't say any more. The devilish female stared at her elder sister and snorted lightly. The Blackstone Devil King didn't say anything. Qin Wentian quietly watched everything. He understood that they were father and daughter after all. No matter how unhappy the Blackstone Devil King was with Yen Yusin, he chose to come to the Azure Flame clan because he wanted to see his daughter and mend their relationship. In truth, the Blackstone Devil King was extremely unhappy with this son-in-law of Azure Flame Tua. After all, the death of his wife was related to this son-in-law. He had no way to blame his daughter, and could only feel that Azure Flame Tua was in the wrong. The Blackstone Devil King hated him, Azure Flame Tua. However, this man was extremely scheming. On the surface he was still polite, welcoming Qin Wentian with a smile. But when Qin Wentian used his true eye to look at him, he discovered that Azure Flame Tua's mind was filled with contempt. In truth, Azure Flame Tua didn't really care about this father-in-law of his. If it wasn't for the fact that this father-in-law was a Devil King expert, he probably wouldn't have set up a banquet to welcome them. This banquet naturally wasn't very pleasant. Even though Yen Yusin didn't continue to talk about this topic, The devilish female ignored her and seemed to be in a bad mood. Yin Yusin could tell as well. She then spoke to the Blackstone Devil King. Father, it wasn't easy for us to come to the fallen Devil Island. This might only happen once every 100 years. I wish to chat more with Yurua. You guys can stay in the Azure Flame Manor. I will make the necessary arrangements. You guys can go out if you want to. Before this, the Blackstone Devil King had never thought of staying. But after glancing at his two daughters, he stiffly nodded. Sure. Let me make the arrangements. Azure Flame Tua spoke. After that, he added, the banquet is dismissed. On the surface, Azure Flame Tua handled things very well. The residence of the Blackstone Devil King and his group was already prepared. Qin Wentian and the others moved in while the devilish female kept pulling Qin Wentian to her side. Qin Wentian didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Don't mind what happened today. In any case, this princess will never spare you. After only the two of them remained, Yen Yurua reverted to her devilish female self, giggling at Qin Wentian. You better spare me. Qin Wentian bitterly smiled. If you wish. The demoness figure flashed, and her snake-like body actually occupied Qin Wentian's bed again. She looked at Qin Wentian with a gentle and seductive gaze. Go ahead and piss me off. The demoness said with hidden bitterness. I've already decided that I'm yours. How about I give my everything to you right now? As she said this, she showed an infinitely charming expression, as if she was ready to be plucked. Qin Wentian fled in panic, leaving only the giggles of the demoness in the room. That night, Qin Wentian had been cultivating outside and hadn't stepped into the room. This was because the demoness had occupied his bed and was sleeping peacefully. And she was sleeping very soundly. Qin Wentian was about to collapse. On the second day, Qin Wentian entered the room and saw the devilish female quietly lying there. Her eyes were closed as she slept, exuding a sense of charm. She seemed to have sensed something and slowly opened her beautiful eyes, smiling gently at Qin Wentian. Don't speak. After speaking, she simply laid there and quietly regarded Qin Wentian. Her smile was extremely moving. Tell me, don't we look like a couple? Get up. Qin Wentian had a black expression on his face. The devilish female stretched her back. There was no sign of her wanting to get up. I want a map of the fallen Devil Island, as well as a rough understanding of it. Can you help me get it? Qin Wentian seriously spoke. Kiss me and I will help you get it. The devilish female smiled. Qin Wentian's face was filled with black lines again. I won't tease you anymore. The devilish female stood up and walked to Qin Wentian's side. She lightly leaned against him. I'm falling more and more in love with you. I will go get it for you now. After speaking, she released Qin Wentian and left. Qin Wentian shook his head and sighed. If it wasn't for the fact that his heart belonged to someone else, he might really be mesmerized by this demoness. The devilish female's beauty in addition to her methods were simply too tempting to men. Not long after, the devilish female actually managed to get her hands on many Devil Path jade slips. Within them, there were records of the situation on the fallen Devil Island. Qin Wentian's immortal sense permeated the jade slips, understanding them one by one. My elder sister invited me to a gathering at noon, and invited many good friends. Seems like she still isn't willing to let the matter of yesterday go. Do you want to accompany me? The devilish female spoke to Qin Wentian. Your elder sister wants to help you find geniuses on the fallen Devil Island. Maybe you might meet someone more outstanding than me. Why do I need to go there and cause people to roll their eyes at me? Qin Wentian laughed. You. The devilish female stomped her feet and spoke in a lovable voice. But I'm already yours. Princess, please spare me. Qin Wentian inclined his head and sighed. I don't care. I asked my elder sister to get these things for me. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have asked her for help, and there's no need for me to agree to her request. No matter what, you have to stay by my side. The devilish female spoke in a spoiled manner. Qin Wentian could only bitterly smile and nod his head. The gathering that Yen Yusin and Azure Flame Tua invited the devilish female to was naturally a gathering of geniuses of the Devil Path. The location was a pavilion in the air with an elegant scenery. There were both males and females among the participants, and all of them exuded elegance and grace. In fact, even the guards they brought along were all extremely powerful. Azure Flame Tuo stood at the front and greeted them as though they were very familiar with each other. However, Qin Wentian understood that these people were merely acting united on the surface, but were actually divided at heart. However, this Yen Yusen most probably invited Yen Yurua, because she wanted to let the devilish female witness the magnificence of the young geniuses of the major powers on the Blackstone Devil Island. In her words, she wanted Yen Yurua to broaden her horizons and not think that a devil general was an unrivaled character. Yurua, that's a disciple of the Cold Moon Devil sect. His talent is outstanding and his character is incomparably carefree. That's a disciple of the Feather Devil Aristocrat clan. He has unrivaled talent, and is also extraordinarily handsome. As for the young man sitting there, he's a genius of the Yi clan. He has innate devil eyes, and is one of the most famous geniuses on the Fallen Devil Island. The status of the Yi clan is extremely high, and is even stronger compared to the Azure Flame clan. Yen Yusen sat in the pavilion and introduced to Yen Yurua. "Oh," Yen Yurua absent-mindedly replied. "Yurua, although these people are young, if they use their strength, the vast majority of them can easily destroy a power like the Blackstone Devil sect. Hence, I hope that you can stay on the Fallen Devil Island in the future. Staying on the Blackstone Devil Island would only delay your future." Yen Yusen continued. As the number of people gathered, one of them turned his gaze onto Yen Yurua and smiled. "Azure Flame Tuo, is this beauty the golden daughter of your Azure Flame clan?" This is the younger sister of Yusen. This time around, she accompanied her father here to offer congratulations to the Devil Emperor. Azure Flame Tuo replied. Madam Azure Flame is extremely beautiful. I didn't expect my younger sister to be so outstanding as well." That person laughed, casting a few more glances at Yen Yurua. "You praise me too much. My younger sister has lived on a devil island in the Fallen Devil region since young. My father is the island lord, and this time around, he brought my younger sister here to offer congratulations. Since there's such an opportunity, I intentionally brought her out to meet the outstanding geniuses of the Fallen Devil Island." Yen Yusen smiled as she replied. "So this is the case. In that case, who is this young man?" That person glanced at Qin Wentian, who was beside Yen Yurua. "This man is a devil general under my father, and is in charge of protecting my younger sister." Yen Yusen replied. Yen Yurua gently glanced at Qin Wentian. She pulled on Qin Wentian's arm as though she was trying to convey something. Yen Yusen frowned, feeling unhappy in her heart, but she didn't say anything. Everyone laughed when they saw this scene. Their hearts were like a mirror, instantly understanding the meaning behind it. Seems like this Yen Yusen wasn't too satisfied with this brother-in-law of hers. Hence, she brought her younger sister out to broaden her horizons. However, this younger sister of hers didn't seem to understand her elder sister's painstaking efforts. The daughter of a subordinate and a master. Such a matter isn't uncommon, but on my Fallen Devil Island, it's impossible for such a thing to happen. However, seems like the devil generals under your father really have some methods. A female smiled at Yen Yusen. Yen Yusen smiled but didn't say anything. Maybe Yen Yurua would have a clearer understanding of the situation if she borrowed the mouths of others to speak. "I'm the one who wooed him." The devilish female smiled, her words causing astonishment to appear on everyone's faces. In that case, the methods of this devil general are even more admirable. That female's beautiful eyes turned to Qin Wentian, as an expression of interest could be seen on her face. His methods are naturally very powerful. Do you want to give it a try? The devilish female giggled. Yurua. Yen Yusen berated. Don't be rude. Don't worry about it. Your younger sister's personality is truly flamboyant. That female laughed. Everyone here are all peak-level immortal foundation characters of this region. This time around, the Devil Emperor would personally appear during the birthday celebration of the Devil Emperor. I'm sure none of you would want to miss out on such a great opportunity. That expert from the Yi clan spoke, causing the eyes of everyone to gleam with a strange light. Evidently, they were all prepared. The Myriad Devil Pilgrimage event is to offer congratulations to the Devil Emperor. At that time, The younger generations of the countless devil sects will gather together and celebrate with the devil sect's etiquette. Lord Devil Emperor will choose 10 people. 7 will be rewarded, and the remaining 3 can raise a condition to the Devil Emperor. This is an opportunity that only appears once every 100 years. If you miss it, you would have to wait another 100 years. We are all fortunate enough to be at the peak of our current cultivation base. Azure Flame Tua laughed. What do you mean? Qin Wentian stared at the devilish female as he asked. Don't you want to do something when you are in the devil sect? The Devil Emperor would be able to fulfill your wish. The devilish female inclined her head and smiled at Qin Wentian. Isn't the difficulty very high? Qin Wentian asked. First, we have to obtain the qualifications to attend the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration. After that, countless geniuses from the myriad devil islands of the Fallen Devil region would engage in an incomparably grand devil war. How difficult would it be to become the 10 most dazzling characters? What do you think? The devilish female spoke. On the same stage, chaotic war? Qin Wentian spoke. What if one person is surrounded by a group of devils? Yes, if that's the case, you can only blame your bad luck. The Devil Emperor wouldn't have the time to admire your battles. Only a devil war would be in line with the atmosphere of the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration. The devilish female spoke in a light voice. This is the myriad devil islands. Qin Wentian's expression turned solemn. Compared to the immortal realms, the style of the myriad devil islands was much more direct and tyrannical. Chapter 1254. As a devil general under my father. You don't even know this? Yin Yusin, who was at the side, frowned when she heard the conversation between Qin Wentian and the third princess. Qin Wentian glanced at Yin Yusin and asked, What does this have to do with you? Impudent. Yin Yusin coldly snorted. Pay attention to your status when you speak. You are merely a devil general under my father. How dare you speak to me like this? Qin Wentian smiled. He glanced at Yin Yurua and spoke. Third princess, farewell. Let me go with you. Yin Yurua pulled Qin Wentian along. No, you better stay behind. As for the Devil King, help me pass a message. This devil island is so vast, I also want to go out and take a look. Qin Wentian smiled. He originally already wanted to leave, and this Yin Yusin just happened to give him an excuse to leave. He couldn't have asked for more. Elder sis, you are going too far. Let me tell you, he isn't just a devil general, he is also my man. Yin Yurua stared at her elder sister as she spoke in a cold tone. There are countless geniuses on the Fallen Devil Island. There are many geniuses from prestigious sects and clans. Any one of them would be countless times stronger than him. Yurua, why must you be so obstinate? Yin Yusin saw that her good intentions were completely ignored by Yin Yurua. She couldn't help but to feel resentful towards iron for not becoming steel. And you actually want to use the identity of a servant to climb up the social ladder. How powerful. Since you are already here, I will definitely not allow this to happen. When Yin Yusin stared at Qin Wentian, her iron-blooded aura could be clearly seen. For the people on the Devil Island, even if they were females, their auras were extremely imposing. The others quietly watched. Before this, they had already guessed this. Seems like it was true. Yin Yusin was very unhappy with her younger sister's lover. From her words, this man was only a devil general under her father. No wonder she would be unhappy. If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have come. Yin Yurua looked at Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian lightly shook his head and stretched out his hand to touch her face, causing the devilish female to start. She stared at Qin Wentian in bewilderment. This was the first time this fellow had taken the initiative. Take good care of yourself. She's your sister, so I'm sure she won't harm you. Let's meet again at the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration. Qin Wentian smiled and turned to leave. Looking at Qin Wentian's back, the witch's heart suddenly trembled. Previously, Qin Wentian always seemed to be a doormat in front of her. After all, she was a princess and he was a subordinate. When she pursued him, he could only avoid her. However, at this moment, Qin Wentian seemed to have his unique self-confidence. She, the princess of the Blackstone Devil Island, in front of Qin Wentian, was like a weak little girl that needed to be doted on and comforted. At this instant, Qin Wentian subconsciously revealed his aura. Stop there. At this moment, Azure Flame Tua, who was beside Yin Yusin, coldly spoke. Qin Wentian continued walking away, like he didn't hear anything. What qualifications does Azure Flame Tua have to order him to stop? What an arrogant fellow. A genius laughed. After that, a surge of devil might descended from the sky, causing the entire space to turn dark. The young man who spoke casually waved his hand, and actually slashed out a heaven-shaking devil saber. The incomparably sharp devil saber slashed down from the sky, bringing with it a fearsome coldness that instantly enveloped all paths of retreat for Qin Wentian, wanting to kill him with a single slash. A devil general from outside, I wonder how strong he is. That genius was still smiling as he slashed out that saber, as though he was incomparably relaxed. However, at this moment, Cheetah, who had been following behind Qin Wentian, suddenly moved. A fearsome battle light radiated from him as he abruptly turned and slashed out with his palms, aiming for the devil saber that was slashing down. A deafening sound rang out. The saber slashed down, but it was caught between Qin Wentian's palms, causing the saber to shatter into pieces. In an instant, the devil might it exuded was completely obliterated. Cheetah coldly glanced at that genius before he turned and followed after Qin Wentian. Any random person here is countless times stronger than my lord? Just with such strength, they aren't even qualified to carry my lord's shoes. Cheetah spoke with his back facing the crowd. The two of them gradually flew away, leaving behind a stunned crowd. This was especially so for the genius who acted earlier. Earlier, that person used his bare hands to block the devil saber. Although it was just a casual strike, everyone could still feel how tyrannical he was. He definitely wasn't weak. However, this person referred to the devil general as his lord? Yin Yusin's beautiful eyes also froze. Clearly, she was shocked by that strike. Yin Yurua coldly spoke. Elder sis, I've said it before. You think I'm inexperienced, but in truth, you are merely thinking too highly of yourself, thinking that you know everything under the heavens just because you are on the fallen devil island. In reality, you are the one who is truly inexperienced. Yin Yusin's expression turned heavy. Even if his strength isn't weak, so what of it? He's just a mere devil general. What status does he have? Ridiculous, a mere devil general. If you speak based on your status, in that case, many people here can't even be compared to a mere devil general. In that case, what qualifications do they have to say that they have a bright future? Wouldn't that just mean that they are useless? You said that father didn't support you back then, but have you ever thought that everything you did was because of your own selfish actions? Yin Yurua coldly spoke. After that, she flicked her sleeves and departed. Simply preposterous. Yin Yusin angrily slammed the table in front of her as her aura fluctuated. Azure Flame Tuo's expression was also somewhat unsightly to behold. There's no need to be angry. After all, she is your younger sister. In the future, she will naturally understand you. Not long later, she would be able to see many things. MHM. Yin Yusin nodded, gradually calming her anger. Everyone, please continue. Azure Flame Tua smiled at everyone, as though nothing had happened. However, a cold light flickered in the depths of his eyes. On the fallen Devil Island, the most symbolic structure was undoubtedly the sky-suspending Devil Palace. The myriad of Devil Islands were originally floating in the air, but this sky-suspending Devil Palace floated above the fallen Devil Island, isolated from the rest of the world. This sky-suspending Devil Palace was none other than the residence of the Devil Emperor. Qin Wentian followed the markings on the map and continued on his way. However, he still spent a very long time before he saw the floating Devil Palace. The majestic sky-suspending Devil Palace was like a heavenly palace, quietly floating there, receiving the admiration and reverence of countless people. This sky-suspending Devil Palace was surrounded by a stairway that led to all four sides. There were vast and majestic Devil Palaces on all four sides, and in each of these palaces lived a supreme character. The four great Devil Generals under the command of the Devil Emperor were incomparably powerful. The style of Devil architecture is truly tyrannical. Qin Wentian sighed. In the floating Devil Palace, The 4 heavenly stairways descended from the sky. In the surroundings of Qin Wentian, countless geniuses gathered. This place could truly be said to be filled with experts as common as the clouds. All of them inclined their heads, coming here with a heart of pilgrimage. At the same time, there were also people fighting for the qualifications to enter the Devil Emperor's birthday banquet. Although this was the birthday banquet of the Devil Emperor, it wasn't so easy to enter the floating Devil Palace. Qin Wentian turned his gaze ahead. Outside the Devil Sect, there was a devil nest situated there, appearing somewhat strange. However, Qin Wentian knew that this devil nest was none other than the extremely famous Thousand Arts Devil Nest on the fallen Devil Island. There were experts guarding it, and usually, it was a test for the 4 devil sects to recruit new members. As long as one could exit the devil nest within the specified time, they would be able to join one of the 4 great devil kings under the Devil Emperor. And during the birthday banquet of the Devil Emperor, this devil nest became the test to enter the sky-suspending Devil Palace. Other than the 4 devil sects, there is a devil nest like this for each of them. I heard from the people on the Devil Island that as long as one can pass the test of any of the devil nests, one can enter. Since we are already here, let's choose this one. Qin Wentian spoke to Chida, who was behind him. Young master can make the decision. Chida replied. According to the records in the Jade Slip, this devil nest is known as the Thousand Arts Devil Nest. There are many different innate techniques of the devil path within, all of them containing offensive nature. After we enter, we have to comprehend them. The shorter the time, the better. Qin Wentian and Chida continued forward. There were more and more people who entered the devil nest. They saw that not long after some people entered, they were directly blasted out, suffering heavy injuries. Naturally, there were also experts who walked out from the other side of the devil nest, passing the test. How fast? It hasn't even been the time it takes for an incense stick to burn right. To think that they already walked out. At this moment, a voice of shock rang out. There was a young man with outstanding talent that attracted the praise of many. It's Yi Zimo from the Yi clan. No wonder. Someone spoke. After that, a look of enlightenment appeared on the faces of everyone. Yi Zimo was an expert on the devil rankings. Devil experts loved battle, and were extremely strong. On the fallen Devil Island, there was the Devil King rankings and Devil rankings. The Devil King rankings recorded the strongest Devil Kings of the fallen Devil Island. As for the Devil rankings, it recorded the most outstanding Devil Foundation experts of the fallen Devil Island. Yi Zimo was precisely one of them. I'm still not as fast as him earlier. He only used the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn. Someone spoke. Are you talking about him? The eyes of the person at the side flashed as he instantly thought of a person. After that he smiled. He has the title of Unparalleled Eyes. In the entire fallen Devil Island, for those below the Devil King realm, leaving aside combat prowess, just based on their comprehension of the devil path, who can be compared to him? That's true. That person earlier smiled and nodded. At this moment, another 2 figures entered the devil nest. These 2 were none other than Qin Wentian and Chida. After Qin Wentian entered the devil nest, he instantly felt an immense pressure gushing towards him from all directions. After that, he saw a pair of devil path palm imprints blasting towards him. These palm imprints contained a terrifying might, and seemed to have a myriad of transformations within them. Tens of thousands of devil palm imprints stacked on top of each other, transforming into a gigantic devil character that enveloped the heavens and earth. Boom! Qin Wentian lifted his palms as a similarly powerful palm imprint blasted out. The 2 gigantic palm imprints collided against each other in the air, crumbling apart. However, the gigantic palm imprint from earlier seemed to have imprinted itself into his sea of consciousness, manifesting itself in his sea of consciousness. Although this palm imprint was powerful, how could it surpass the might of God's hand as well as the ancient devil word? The fusion of the 2 could easily form a devil palm imprint. Qin Wentian's eyes opened and closed as devil might gushed forth. When he lifted his palm again, he actually blasted out another devil palm imprint. The ancient devil word floated in the air, converging into a towering might. With a thunderous boom, Qin Wentian's silhouette flickered, directly passing through the devil palm imprint and exiting the devil nest. The guard outside the devil nest started. He glanced at Qin Wentian and was stunned for a moment. After that he spoke, 9 breaths. You have passed the test. 9 breaths. As the sound of his voice faded, the gazes of countless people in the surroundings all turned to Qin Wentian. How is this possible? Someone exclaimed in shock. Qin Wentian started. Too fast. Little brother, are you willing to join the 4 devil kings? That guard smiled. At this moment, numerous experts walked over, many of them were devil kings. They stared at Qin Wentian. I'm from the Cold Mountain Devil Sect. Are you willing to join my sect? What does the Cold Mountain Devil Sect count for? I'm from the 1,000 Feet Devil Mountain. I would like to invite you to join. Many devil kings extended their invitations to Qin Wentian. 9 breaths of time. What comprehension ability was this? Chapter 1255. Qin Wentian glanced at the surroundings. Seeing so many experts inviting him, he understood that his speed must have been too fast and attracted the attention of so many experts. Everyone, I apologize. I'm a devil general from one of the devil islands of the Fallen Devil region. I came here together with the Devil King to participate in this banquet. Qin Wentian clasped his hands and spoke. After that, everyone silently sighed in pity. It was unknown which devil island this general was from, to actually have such comprehension abilities. So this is the case. Please accept my token of entry. That protector waved his hand as a beam of black light directly imprinted itself into the center of Qin Wentian's brows. Don't erase it for now. This is the proof of your entry. That protector spoke. Qin Wentian nodded lightly. With an intention of his will, the beam of light in the center of his brows vanished. Imprint of darkness. The eyes of the experts in the surroundings gleamed with sharpness. The token in the center of Qin Wentian's brows was the token of darkness, the highest grade of token. If he entered, he would be able to enjoy a very good position. Qin Wentian's silhouette flashed as he stood at the side, waiting for Qida to come out. Not far away from Qin Wentian, Yi Zimo's gaze landed on Qin Wentian as a look of curiosity appeared on his face. Before this, he thought that his speed was already very fast, but he didn't expect that there would actually be someone who could be so fast to such an extent. His silhouette flashed, moving to the side of Qin Wentian as he spoke. My name is Yi Zimo. Qin Wentian glanced at him and smiled. Qin Wentian. Brother Qin's comprehension abilities are extraordinary. You actually managed to comprehend the devil arts in just a few breaths of time. These 1,000 innate techniques are like child's play in front of Brother Qin. Yi Zimo smiled. If I may be so bold as to ask, does Brother Qin have talent in this aspect, or is it purely because of your comprehension abilities? It can only be considered a fluke. Qin Wentian smiled. This Yi Zimo was extremely polite, hence, there was no need for him to reject him. Brother Qin is humble. Yi Zimo didn't probe further. This was Qin Haodong's private matter, so it wasn't appropriate for him to probe further. There are also devil caverns in the other 3 directions. The more devil caverns you pass, the more valuable the seat you will be given. Brother Qin, have you tried to head to the other 3 devil caverns? Yi Zimo continued asking. The 4 demon nests were used by the 4 demon kings under the demon emperor for their examinations. Now they were all used to screen the names of the participants. Right now, the people on the fallen devil island came from all directions. Other than some of the stronger devil sects on the island, the other powers all had different statuses. How would they determine the seats? The demon emperor's birthday celebration couldn't be a mess. Hence, the number of devil caverns that one could pass through, as well as the time of passing, would determine the number of devil caverns that one could pass through. Is that so? Qin Wentian wasn't very clear about the specifics. He couldn't help but to mumble. Brother Qin came from a devil island outside. Maybe you are not familiar with it. Even in the same devil cavern, there are many different medallions. The darkness medallion is the highest ranking medallion, while the lowest is dimmer in color. Even if you enter the banquet, you can only sit at the outermost area, and can only stare at the devil emperor from afar. As for Brother Qin, with the darkness medallion, You can already sit at the front. If you can pass through the other devil caverns, you might even have a chance to sit near the Devil Emperor. Yi Zimo spoke. The ranking of the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration was extremely strict. Even the seats had to be ranked based on one's strength and talent. I can give it a try. It's just that I still have a friend inside who hasn't exited yet. Qin Wentian spoke. It just so happens that I have nothing to do, and am also preparing to barge into the other devil caverns. Let's wait for Brother Qin to join us. Yi Zimo smiled. Qin Wentian nodded lightly. From afar, the eyes of the spectators flickered as they stared at their backs. Yi Zimo was an expert on the devil rankings, and he actually took the initiative to befriend this young man. Geniuses like each other, the two of them standing together was truly breathtaking. However, they didn't know if they would be able to pass through the other devil caverns as quickly as they did in this one. Time slowly flowed by. Chida also exited. He didn't spend too much time and finished within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, causing everyone to be shocked. How could there be so many characters with such powerful comprehension abilities appearing one after another? Qin Wentian wasn't surprised. Chida cultivated the battle saint art, and was able to manifest an ultimate art like God's hand. How could this devil cavern obstruct him? Yi Zimo's eyes flashed as he asked, "This brother is?" Chida Qin Wentian introduced. "In that case, let's go together." Yi Zimo smiled, thinking in his heart, were these two really the devil generals of the devil islands outside? Both of them were actually so powerful? After which, Yi Zimo discovered that Chida seemed to be extremely respectful towards Qin Wentian. He kept walking half a step behind Qin Wentian, and his body size never exceeded Qin Wentian's. This was basically the attitude a subordinate would have towards their superior. Could it be that Qin Wentian was a descendant of one of the rulers of the Devil Islands outside? Qin Wentian also learned some things from Yi Zimo. After all, the information he obtained from the jade slip given to him by the third princess was only the general information of the fallen Devil Island. Yi Zimo knew much more. He himself was a genius disciple of a powerful devil clan, and was also an expert on the devil rankings. After some time, Qin Wentian arrived at the second devil cavern. The devil king of this sect is proficient in devil formations. The formations in this devil cavern are extremely powerful, and the rules here are no different from before. Yi Zimo spoke to Qin Wentian and Chida. Qin Wentian nodded lightly, after which, the three of them stepped out together, moving towards the center of the devil cavern. After entering the devil cavern, Qin Wentian felt like he was isolated from the rest of the world. He was the only person here, and right now, he was in a devil hall. Both sides of the hall were filled with powerful devil experts wielding devil sabers and spears, all of them rushing towards him. Formations. Qin Wentian closed his eyes, sending his immortal sense in different directions. Formations are interlinked. The devil path's formations aren't too different from immortal formations. Qin Wentian silently mused. Powerful law energy gushed forth from him, gushing towards every corner of this space. In an instant, deafening rumbling sounds rang out. Qin Wentian's attacks seemed to be completely unreasonable. He didn't attack those devils, he only focused on attacking the void. After some time, the devil experts in front of him started to crumble apart. Finally, the devil hall vanished as a passageway appeared. Qin Wentian stepped out, directly entering it. A formation expert. The guard outside glanced at Qin Wentian as a look of bewilderment appeared on his face. "Congratulations, are you willing to join my devil sect?" That guard issued an invitation. "I'm here on behalf of my sect." Qin Wentian rejected. That guard nodded and passed a token of darkness to Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian's silhouette flashed as he waited at the side, causing countless experts to exclaim in admiration. Who is this person? His speed is so fast. He must be a genius from a major clan that specializes in formations. That's why he can exit so quickly. I wonder if the fastest record in the 1,000 formations devil nest is as fast as him. After that, a few other major sects sent out invitations, but all of them were rejected by Qin Wentian one after another. Yi Zimo and Chida came out at the same time. After they exited, They saw Qin Wentian quietly waiting there. Did you wait for long? Yi Zimo asked, but his heart wasn't calm. If the earlier incident in the Thousand Arts Devil Nest was a coincidence, what about this Thousand Formations Devil Nest? Not too bad. Qin Wentian smiled. Let's go to the next Devil Nest then. Yi Zimo spoke. After that, they continued on their way and arrived at the third Devil Nest. This was the Thousand Puppets Devil Nest, and there were many powerful puppets there. Qin Wentian barged in, and was the first to exit once again. Yi Zimo was an Empyrean character and a ranker on the devil rankings. He had also barged in before, but when he saw Qin Wentian, he couldn't help but feel shock in his heart. Qin Wentian stood there quietly as though he had been waiting for quite some time. Brother Qin, what sort of demon-level character are you exactly? Yi Zimo was speechless, not knowing what to say. He felt an intense sense of defeat. Even when he was facing those terrifying demon-level characters on the devil rankings, he had never felt such a sense of defeat before. Yi Zimo, is this person your friend? At this moment, a young man walked over and asked Yi Zimo. Yi Zimo glanced at this person and nodded. This young man was also a ranker on the devil rankings, and was extremely powerful. Your friend seems to have some methods to deal with the puppets. His speed is very fast. That person laughed. Most probably right now, he is preparing to barge into the 4 devil lairs together with you. I wonder how are his performances in the other devil lairs? Not too bad. Yi Zimo calmly spoke. Brother Qin, let's go. Qin Wentian nodded and headed towards the direction of the last devil nest. That young man glanced at the back view of Qin Wentian and Yi Zimo as a cold smile flashed in his eyes. This last devil nest is named the Thousand Battles Devil Nest. You will have to depend on your own combat prowess. Yi Zimo spoke to Qin Wentian when they arrived at the entrance of the last devil nest. Qin Wentian nodded. Brother Qin, be careful. Yi Zimo reminded. After that, Qin Wentian walked towards the depths of the devil nest. Yi Zimo didn't follow him in, but chose to observe from the outside instead. He wanted to see how long Qin Wentian would take. This devil nest has the ability to differentiate one's cultivation base. Many people have no way to pass this devil nest. It's extremely difficult, most probably it won't be easy. Yi Zimo calmly spoke. But at the next instant, at the exit of the devil nest, a figure walked out. When Yi Zimo saw this figure, his eyes froze. This, Yi Zimo's heart pounded. The 4 devil nests, 1,000 laws, 1,000 formations, 1,000 puppets, 1,000 battles. Qin Wentian, did he pass all of them like this? Were there really tests in this devil nest? Many experts in the surroundings exclaimed as they continued forward. Just like before, there were invitations, but Qin Wentian rejected them. He obtained a token of darkness instead. The tokens of the 4 devil nests were all black in color. A smile flashed on Qin Wentian's face. When he returned, he was thinking in his heart, if this is the case, I should be able to get close to the Devil Emperor. Let's hope that I can attract his attention. Brother Yi, you haven't entered yet? Qin Wentian smiled as he stared at Yi Zimo. I'm going in now. Brother Qin, wait for me. Yi Zimo returned to his senses. He cast a deep glance at Qin Wentian before walking towards the devil nest. This man was truly a demon-level genius. He had to make friends with him. Maybe, he might even gain the favor of the Devil Emperor. As a ranker on the devil rankings, Yi Zimo knew how difficult it was. But for Qin Wentian, his chances weren't small. Chapter 1256. Qin Wentian attracted the attention of several experts. However, he merely stood there quietly, waiting for Qida and Yi Zimo to come out. The 2 of them were also extraordinary characters. They would naturally be able to pass the devil nest as well. It was only a matter of time. Qida came out earlier than Yi Zimo, quietly standing beside Qin Wentian. After Yi Zimo came out, he cast a deep glance at Qida before turning to Qin Wentian. There's still some time before the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration. During these few days, this place would surely be extremely lively. However, Brother Qin, there's nothing else for you to do. You just need to attend the banquet when the time comes. Next, what plans does Brother Qin have? I want to roam around the Devil Island. Qin Wentian smiled. Coincidentally, I have nothing better to do and can accompany Brother Qin. In addition, I've lived on this island for many years and am extremely familiar with it. If Brother Qin wants to do anything, I can lead the way. Yi Zimo warmly spoke. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. This Yi Zimo was clearly too polite. However, under his eyes of truth, he could sense that Yi Zimo had no ill intentions. Seems like he only felt that his talent was outstanding and wanted to befriend him. If this is the case, would it be too troublesome for Brother Yi? Qin Wentian asked. Brother Qin, when the birthday celebration of the Devil Emperor starts soon, you will be seated at the top. At that time, you will be the center of attention, and it's unknown how many devil sects and clans would want to invite Brother Qin to join them. At that time, I'm afraid I won't be able to reach up to you. Ha! Yi Zimo spoke bluntly, gaining a trace of favorable impression from Qin Wentian. This Yi Zimo was truly a straightforward person. The top seat? Qin Wentian mumbled. After that he asked, Oh yeah, Brother Yi, do you know of the Azure Flame Clan? Azure Flame Clan. Yi Zimo's eyes flashed. After that he nodded. I know they can be considered to have some power. However, when placed in the perspective of the entire fallen Devil Island, it can't be considered anything significant. Why? Does Brother Qin know of them? I've met them before. They participated in the gathering of the Azure Flame family and some geniuses. They seemed to be very confident that they would be favored by the Demon Emperor. Qin Wentian said in a low voice. Haha, Brother Qin, you're really funny. Who would think that they're weaker than others? If they don't even have self-confidence, then what is the point of fighting? The demonic path's Wuxia might be lacking, but his momentum can't be any weaker. But in truth, if there's any meaning to these people's gatherings, then perhaps they'll just flatter each other. Yi Zimo laughed. Honestly speaking, if they joined the banquet together with you, Brother Qin, the moment your imprint appears, the difference between you and them would be countless times greater. If Brother Qin wishes to participate in these boring gatherings, I can introduce some geniuses who stand at the peak to Brother Qin. All of them are definitely characters on the devil rankings. Hearing Brother Ye's words, it does seem rather boring. Qin Wentian laughed. The two of them walked away together. For those who participated in the adjudication battle, if they arrived, they would definitely think of ways to participate in the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration. They would also be able to obtain the qualifications to enter. It was just that they didn't know how many people they would meet there. Naturally, rather than participating in such a banquet, why not go to the Celestial Devil Lodge? That place is the most fun place on the fallen Devil Island. Yi Zimo laughed. Celestial Devil Lodge? Qin Wentian's eyes flashed, staring at the smile on Yi Zimo's face. He had no idea what sort of place the Celestial Devil Lodge was exactly. What's there? Qin Wentian curiously asked. A banquet. That place is a place where the peak geniuses of the fallen Devil Island would appear. In addition, they only receive people with extraordinary statuses, as well as experts on the Devil King rankings and Devil King rankings. Yi Zimo laughed. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. The threshold was actually so high. Are you interested in going there for a walk? Yi Zimo laughed. Sure. Qin Wentian nodded. Yi Zimo then led the way, heading in the direction of the Celestial Devil Lodge. The architecture of the Celestial Devil Lodge wasn't as majestic as the other devil palaces and halls. It was exquisite and exquisite, exuding an ethereal aura. Even before they entered, there was already a lady who came out to welcome them. Sir Yi. The lady bowed slightly. Evidently she was acquainted with Yi Zimo. These two are my good friends and are both extraordinary characters. Can we enter together? Yi Zimo asked. Since they are people recommended by Sir Yi, they are naturally allowed to enter. Sir, please follow me. Three ladies led the way. The interior of the Celestial Devil Lodge was extremely quiet, with a faint fragrance permeating the air. There was a lake within the Celestial Devil Lodge, and in the center of the lake, there was an island. There were pavilions by the side of the lake, and many people were quietly sitting in the pavilions, enjoying their tea. In addition, each pavilion was an independent existence, and one had to fly to it. Behind the pavilions, there were also exquisite structures that even immortal senses couldn't permeate. Which sir would like to enter first? A lady spoke to Yi Zimo. Bring Brother Qin to the best seat first. Yi Zimo glanced at the lady. The lady nodded her head lightly. Sir Qin, please follow me. After speaking, her silhouette flashed as she flew towards one of the pavilions. Qin Wentian followed behind her, landing in the pavilion in the middle of the lake. Sir Qin, please be seated. That lady spoke. Qin Wentian sat down in the pavilion, and after that, the lady bade farewell and departed. Qin Wentian turned his gaze to Yi Zimo only to see Yi Zimo smiling mysteriously at him, causing Qin Wentian to feel a strange feeling in his heart. This place seemed to be. His gaze then turned to the other figures sitting in the pavilions. He discovered that other than two of them, the others all had extremely dense auras. They were all at the peak of Devil Foundation. Although they were quietly sitting there, Qin Wentian could sense an extremely tyrannical aura from them. Most probably, it was just like what Yi Zimo said. This place would only receive people with extraordinary statuses and rankers on the devil rankings. Who are the friends Brother Yi brought here? Someone asked, clearly acquainted with Yi Zimo. Brother Qin Wentian and Brother Qi. The two of them have already passed the fourth devil nest, and they are both stronger than me. Yi Zimo smiled, his words causing the eyes of everyone to flash as they inclined their heads and glanced at Qin Wentian. And Qi de Yi Zimo said that the two of them were stronger than him. Yi Zimo could be considered a famous character on the devil rankings. In that case, these two were truly extraordinary. Since Yi Zimo praised them so highly, they must be extraordinary. Seems like this time around, we will have two more powerful enemies. A person laughed. After that, he toasted Qin Wentian and Qi De and didn't say anything, directly draining the contents of his cup in a single gulp. Qin Wentian smiled as he lifted his wine cup and started drinking. Although they were going to be enemies, they still drank together, chatting and laughing. At this moment, mist actually appeared in the center of the lake. A moment later, the gazes of everyone turned over. The entire lake started to be shrouded by immortal mist. Qin Wentian couldn't see any other places except for the island in the center of the lake. There, 9 white-robed maidens appeared, huddled together. Only their backs could be seen, but from their figures, one could tell that they were all extremely alluring. Qin Wentian frowned. At this moment, he actually felt that all his attention was drawn to the island in the center of the lake. That place seemed to be just inches away from him. Their robes fluttered as the figures of the 9 maidens moved at the same time, dancing gracefully. In an instant, 9 beautiful faces appeared in Qin Wentian's vision, causing Qin Wentian's heart to involuntarily tremble. The 9 maidens were all supreme beauties, each with their own charm. Also, their eyes were filled with charm, staring right at him, incomparably alluring. Qin Wentian drew in a deep breath, stabilizing his state of mind. After which, the 9 maidens started to dance. Their sexy and perfect bodies danced gracefully as their snake-like waists twisted and turned. Each and every one of their movements was extremely seductive. Their eyes seemed to be filled with emotions as they stared at Qin Wentian, causing the blood in his body to surge. Not only that, what made Qin Wentian even more shocked was that in his mind, there were only these 9 beautiful figures dancing in front of him. There was no space for anything else. The blood in his body started to boil as a terrifying impulse surged within him. Devil arts. A thought flashed through Qin Wentian's mind. At the level of immortals and devils, how strong would their willpower be? Unless they were willing, it was impossible for them to passively fall into a trap. There was only one possibility. The other party must have cultivated a devil art that was filled with charm. Each and every one of their actions could stir the hearts of others, causing them to feel impulsive. The more Qin Wentian watched, the more shocked he felt. The impulse in his heart grew stronger. Was this the fun place Yi Zimo spoke of? He was tricked by Yi Zimo. Just when Qin Wentian stabilized his state of mind, and was admiring the beautiful dance, his entire body suddenly trembled as a surge of blood flowed through his veins. Behind him, There seemed to be an incomparably smooth and soft body pressed against him. At this moment, it was undoubtedly fatal. "Sir, have some tea." A voice so gentle that it seeped into one's bones rang out. The delicate figure behind him moved aside, and came to his side, pouring tea for him. A pair of perfect and slender hands passed the tea to him. That pair of eyes lifted up, and the instant Qin Wentian saw them, his heart pounded violently once more. This was a pair of extremely beautiful eyes, as pure as jade, yet there was a hint of shyness in them. Especially at this moment, when he saw such a countenance, Qin Wentian almost couldn't control himself. That pair of eyes seemed to contain a magical power, causing him to be unable to shift his gaze away. Femme fatale. Qin Wentian's heart trembled. He stabilized his state of mind and received the teacup with a smile. "Many thanks, Mississippi. Xianyu is here to serve, sir. There's no need for you to thank me." The voice of the woman was gentle. Her beautiful eyes were incomparably moving. She lightly hugged Qin Wentian's arm as she leaned against Qin Wentian, her head gently resting on his shoulder. Qin Wentian could feel the fragrance and softness of her body. "You also cultivate a devil art, right?" Qin Wentian spoke in a low voice. Although this woman didn't display any devil arts, Qin Wentian could still feel the temptation was too terrifying. The Mercury Lady Devil Art." The woman spoke gently, not hiding anything. "Sir, is this the first time you came to the Celestial Devil Lodge?" The woman inclined her head, her beautiful eyes staring at Qin Wentian, so pure and flawless. Qin Wentian nodded his head lightly. He stared at the dance on the island as he sighed in his heart at how amazing this lodge was. "In that case, sir, you are in for a treat. For those who came here for the first time, they would all be in so much pain that they wish they were dead." The woman smiled gently, stirring the souls of men. "How can that be?" Qin Wentian stared at the beautiful woman, but he didn't continue speaking. The woman naturally understood his meaning. Under such circumstances, wouldn't it be a wonderful thing? "Sir, please don't misunderstand." The woman smiled, not going overboard. Qin Wentian instantly understood. She only wanted to tempt him, but she didn't allow him to touch her? This would truly cause one to feel so much pain that they would wish they were dead. "In that case, why are you doing this?" Qin Wentian curiously asked. "For females who cultivate the Mercury Lady Devil art, as long as they lose their chastity once, their years of cultivation would instantly turn into nothingness, becoming a man. Hence, many peak-level geniuses love to come here." Xianyu's smile was as gentle and beautiful as ever, but Qin Wentian's heart trembled. This devil art was actually so tyrannical. Not only that, it would help the other party but also destroy oneself. Wasn't this a little too? So, unless they truly met someone they love, the Sisters of the Celestial Devil Lodge. "Sir, you should be able to understand." "I don't understand." Qin Wentian shook his head. Chapter 1257. Staring at Xianyu, Qin Wentian spoke. "I have no way to understand your actions. Your cultivation base is also at the peak of Devil Foundation, and regardless of talent or beauty, you are both outstanding. Why would you sacrifice your cultivation for a man in a single night?" It was normal for the myriad devil islands to have a cultivation art like the Mercury Lady Devil art. However, this method was clearly abnormal. Only by absorbing the energy of others would it be logical. "I'm naturally unwilling. However, sir, don't think that everyone is born with a good life. Life on the myriad devil islands is incomparably cruel, especially for beautiful women. If they don't have the ability to protect themselves, it's not easy for them to survive. If there wasn't a reason, why would I come to the Celestial Devil Lodge?" Xianyu leaned lightly on Qin Wentian, as though she was speaking in a gentle voice. Such a feeling caused Qin Wentian's heart to soften even more. The Mercury Lady Devil art was constantly being unleashed. In addition, if you meet someone who truly loves you, so what if you dissipate your Devil Foundation cultivation? Even if the energy from the Mercury Lady Devil art dissipates, you can still cultivate back to the initial level of Devil Foundation. You wouldn't be a cripple. If your luck is good, you might even have a chance to marry into a major power or clan. Xianyu continued. The Celestial Devil Lodge nurtures you guys. Would they be able to benefit from it? Qin Wentian asked. That's natural. Sir, your relationship with Sir Yi should be very good, right? Xianyu smiled. Why do you ask this? Qin Wentian asked. Nothing much. Xianyu smiled. Her gentle hands held onto Qin Wentian's fingers, intertwining their fingers, causing Qin Wentian to gently embrace her. Staring at the delicate figure in his embrace, he then turned his gaze back to the dance of the 9 beauties as waves of emotions rose in his heart. Although the women of the Celestial Devil Lodge had given their first time to the man they loved, how could it be so easy for them to marry into a major power? Devil cultivators might feel their hearts stirring for a short period of time, but it wouldn't be so easy to truly marry a wife. After all, the women of the Celestial Devil Lodge had served many people before. Even if they didn't have the last step, it wouldn't be so easy for them to marry into a major power. Most probably, there would be many cases of them being abandoned. Sir, what are you thinking about? Xianyu inclined her head and stared at Qin Wentian as she gently asked. I'm wondering if I have the charm to convince you. Qin Wentian said with a smile. A faint smile appeared on Xianyu's lips. I don't think Sir is such a person. At such a moment, many people wouldn't be able to endure it any longer. Can Xianyu ask Sir something? Go ahead, Qin Wentian said. If Xianyu is willing to follow him, would Sir be willing to marry Xianyu and protect her? Xianyu inclined her head, her beautiful eyes staring at Qin Wentian. Her expression was extremely soul-stirring, causing people to involuntarily nod in agreement. I won't. Qin Wentian laughed. Sir's true temperament, many people at this moment don't have such willpower. Even for those with such willpower, they would still lie and deceive others to win the hearts of beauties. Xianyu's voice was gentle. How do you know that I'm not playing hard to get? Qin Wentian asked. Pretending to be noble and virtuous to win the hearts of beauties? But if that's the case, what meaning would there be to us? Xianyu smiled. Qin Wentian nodded lightly. Impudent. At this moment, a loud roar rang out from within the mist, shattering this beautiful scene. After that, a cold voice rang out. I've already said it before. Xianyu is not allowed to accompany others. Get her to come here immediately. This voice was tyrannical and domineering, penetrating through the mist. Xianyu struggled free from Qin Wentian's embrace and sat at the side. Someone who likes you? Qin Wentian stared at Xianyu who was beside him. Whether it's real or fake, who knows? Ba Xiao on the devil rankings has a tyrannical personality. If he wants something, he will definitely get it. Xianyu smiled. Is he very famous? Qin Wentian asked. Xianyu stared at Qin Wentian in bewilderment as a radiant smile appeared on her face. Sir Qin, you actually don't even know about the famous characters on the devil rankings? I'm not someone from the fallen devil island. Qin Wentian directly spoke. So this is the case. This Ba Xiao is someone from the Royal Devil sect and his talent is extremely high. Although the devil rankings doesn't have a clear ranking, Wuxia of the Fallen Devil region still likes to give them a ranking, saying that Ba Xiao is someone who can enter the top 3. Also, the Royal Devil sect is also an extremely terrifying power. Do you think he is famous? Xianyu smiled. If this is the case, wouldn't he be a good match for you if he likes you? Qin Wentian asked. Ba Xiao is extremely tyrannical. He only does things according to what he likes and doesn't care about what others think. He simply wants to make me his. Xianyu shook her head lightly. I don't like him at all. So this is the case. Qin Wentian nodded his head lightly. At this moment, the atmosphere was already destroyed by Ba Xiao's roar. The immortal fog gradually dissipated, and the 9 dancing maidens vanished as well. Everything returned to how it was when Qin Wentian first arrived. It was just that beside each of the geniuses, there was an additional peerless beauty. Every single one of them had outstanding looks and was extremely moving. However, Qin Wentian discovered that Xianyu, who was beside him, was the most outstanding among all of them. Seems like Xianyu's words earlier had a deeper meaning. Yi Zimo must have paid some price to the Celestial Devil Lodge before Xian Yu would accompany him. In one of the pavilions, a figure stood there arrogantly with a cold expression. After that, his gaze landed on Xian Yu, who was beside Qin Wentian. Sir Ba, the Celestial Devil Lodge naturally has its own rules. I beg for Sir's forgiveness. Not far away from Ba Xiao, a maiden was apologizing. However, Ba Xiao didn't look at her. He was staring at Xian Yu as he spoke. Xian Yu, come over and accompany me. Xian Yu didn't seem to know what to do. She glanced at Qin Wentian, who was beside her. Ba Xiao, since you came to the Celestial Devil Lodge, don't break our rules. Yi Zimo spoke unhappily. Yi Zimo, you don't have the qualifications to talk to me. Ba Xiao coldly glanced at Yi Zimo. Since I'm already accompanying Sir Qin, I will naturally listen to everything Sir Qin says. Xian Yu spoke in a light voice. Ba Xiao's eyes then turned to Qin Wentian. I naturally won't let you go. Qin Wentian pulled Xian Yu's hand as he smiled. Xian Yu gently smiled. Ba Xiao's expression turned heavy. He stared at Qin Wentian as he icily spoke. You are very impudent. Impudent? Qin Wentian stared at Ba Xiao, wanting to snatch Qin Wentian away after coming here. Yet he still dared to call him impudent? Humph. Ba Xiao coldly snorted. He then turned to Xian Yu. Xian Yu, every time I come to the Celestial Devil Lodge, it's because of you. I remember you saying that other than me, you don't need to accompany anyone else. Am I right? Sir Ba, Xian Yu is a member of the Celestial Devil Lodge. I naturally have to listen to their arrangements. Xian Yu spoke in a low voice. Stop using the Celestial Devil Lodge to pressure me. I've treated you quite well. It's fine that you rejected me time and time again. I respect you. But right now, I'm truly very angry. Ba Xiao coldly spoke. Ba Xiao, your logic is truly powerful. How many times have you come here for Xian Yu? Is that why she has to give up everything for you? In the Celestial Devil Lodge, you aren't the only one who came here often. Yi Zimo spoke again. Brother Qin is my friend. Today is the first time he came here. But you are truly a disappointment. I've said it before, you don't have the qualifications to talk to me. One day when you can defeat me, you can come and talk to me again. Ba Xiao glanced at Yi Zimo before he continued. Xian Yu, you should know that the Celestial Devil Lodge is a place that cares about benefits. If I pay a sufficient price and forcefully take you in, what would you do? Xian Yu's expression changed. The Celestial Devil Lodge had its own rules, but if Ba Xiao was really willing to pay a price that could move the heart of the Celestial Devil Lodge, she might really be sacrificed. Sir Ba, why must you do this? You should know that the Mercury Lady Devil art can only be activated if we take the initiative. Xian Yu spoke. I want you. It isn't simply because of the Mercury Lady Devil art. Since you put it this way, if you land in my hands, do you think you can still refuse? Ba Xiao's voice grew more domineering. Clearly he was truly angered. Qin Wentian was speechless. He didn't expect that in a place like the Celestial Devil Lodge, there would actually be jealousy. If Sir Ba really wants to do this, I can still choose to die. Xian Yu's beautiful eyes also turned resolute, no longer looking like a weak young lady. She stared straight at Ba Xiao. Since you put it this way, very well. Ba Xiao no longer looked at Xian Yu. He turned to Qin Wentian instead. Tell her to come over now or you will be in a miserable state. Pour a cup of tea for me. Qin Wentian didn't look at Ba Xiao. He spoke in a light voice to Xian Yu. Xian Yu started. After that, she nodded her head lightly and poured a cup of tea for Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian took a sip and placed the cup down. He hugged Xian Yu lightly as he closed his eyes. I thought that only beasts would bite people they see. To think that there are some people who are like this as well. How disappointing. As the sound of his voice faded, the eyes of the people in the surroundings gleamed with sharpness. Comparing Ba Xiao to beasts? How crazy. Ba Xiao and Xian Yu were both stunned. After that, Ba Xiao's silhouette flashed, directly flying out of the pavilion as he spoke. I will wait for you outside the Celestial Devil Lodge. I hope you can continue hiding inside. Continue, don't let others spoil your mood. Qin Wentian calmly spoke. Immortal mist gradually appeared as the 9 beauties from before started dancing again. In the blink of an eye, this place was like a celestial paradise on earth. Xinu's body softly leaned against Qin Wentian as she spoke in a light voice. Since Sir despises Xinu, why did you offend Ba Xiao for me? Despises you? What do you mean by that? Qin Wentian was puzzled. I asked Sir if Xinu was willing to give me her body. Would Sir be willing to marry me? Sir didn't even want to lie to me. Is this not despising me? Xinu spoke in a light voice. The world is so vast, there are countless lives. We are all living in a swamp. Our bodies are stained with blood and mud. Who is clean? What qualifications do I have to despise others? In addition, Xinu is so alluring. Qin Wentian smiled. I won't marry you because I already have a woman I love. No matter how tempting the environment is, I might lose myself temporarily. But if I marry you, that would not only be disrespecting you, it would also be disrespecting the woman I love. Xinu's beautiful eyes flashed. She fell silent and didn't say anything, only quietly leaning against Qin Wentian. Chapter 1258. Ba Xiao, can he really make the Celestial Devil Lodge hand you over? Qin Wentian felt the gentleness in his embrace as he asked in a light voice. We are very lowly, right? Xinu's smile was extremely moving, causing one's heart to shatter. However, if he really forced it, the price he would have to pay wouldn't be small. If I die, he would surely feel heartache. To him, the gains wouldn't make up for the losses. Hence, he might only be threatening me verbally. If you are willing, what price do I have to pay to bring you away? Qin Wentian asked again. Xinu got up from Qin Wentian's embrace. Her beautiful eyes stared at Qin Wentian as a bright light flashed in them. She then smiled. Sir Qin, are you joking? Do I look like I'm joking? Qin Wentian asked. If Sir Qin is willing to accept me, maybe Xinu would consider following you. But Sir Qin has already made it clear earlier. What do you want Xinu to do? Answer my question first. Qin Wentian spoke. Those who came to the Celestial Devil Lodge should all know the rules here. Sir Qin was brought here by Sir Yi, hence he doesn't know about it. If both parties are willing, they can enter the rear and enjoy the pleasures of immortals in the lodge. After that, the Celestial Devil Lodge would raise a condition to him. This condition might be a treasure on him, or it might be a condition for him to agree to a favor. In addition, it must be something he can do. Xinu smiled. If he can do it but isn't willing, then don't dream about such a beautiful thing. No wonder only rankers on the Devil King rankings and Devil rankings can enter. I'm sure the Celestial Devil Lodge has long investigated what they can offer. Qin Wentian laughed. However, the Celestial Devil Lodge knows nothing about me. Sir Yi has already made a guarantee. Xinu smiled. Qin Wentian's gaze froze. This Yi Zimo was truly willing to part with his benefits. This meant that if Xinu fell in love with him, he would be able to enjoy the pleasures of immortals, and Yi Zimo would have to pay the price for him. This Yi Zimo, in order to befriend him, he truly put in a lot of effort. In that case, are you willing to leave with me? Qin Wentian asked Xinu. Sir Qin. Xinu's beautiful eyes were filled with bewilderment. I won't marry you, but I don't need you to devote yourself to me. I'll redeem your freedom for you. If you feel indebted to me, you can be my maidservant for a few years. How about that? Qin Wentian smiled. Xinu evidently didn't expect Qin Wentian to say such words. There has never been anyone like Qin Wentian who would make such a ridiculous request. Coming to the Celestial Devil Lodge, other than beauties, wasn't it because of the Mercury Lady Devil art? However, Qin Wentian actually rejected all of them. It had only been a few years, but in reality, it was already very short. She did not understand. Sir Qin, can Rong Xingyu consider this? Xinu stared at Qin Wentian as she spoke. It's the first time we've met, and it wouldn't be easy to gain someone's trust. Especially under such circumstances. Xinu, you guys possess 2 treasures that all men would want to obtain. Qin Wentian smiled as he shook his head, placing his teacup down. Sir, Xinu doesn't have such intentions. Xianyu spoke in a light voice. However, she knew that these words were nothing more than a gentle lie. How would it be able to fool Qin Wentian? Naturally, Qin Wentian didn't care as well. If you want Xianyu to believe that he was someone who came here for the first time, you would be making things difficult for her instead. Don't worry about it. Qin Wentian smiled, quietly admiring the beautiful dance. Although the temptation was extraordinary, his willpower was strong and he wasn't moved at all. Xianyu also fell silent, quietly pouring tea for Qin Wentian. The dance gradually came to an end as the smoke dissipated. Nobody left the pavilion. Although they were immersed in it, there was still no one who could move the hearts of the maidservants of the Celestial Devil Lodge. How could it be so simple to obtain the maidservants of the Celestial Devil Lodge? Unless one was a peerless character that could shake the entire Devil Islands, only then would it be possible to make these intelligent maidservants fall in love with him at first sight. Brother Qin, how do you feel? Is Lady Xianyu serving you well? Yi Zimo glanced at the pavilion where Qin Wentian was. He only saw Qin Wentian hugging the maidservant in his embrace, as though he really knew how to enjoy himself. Lady Xianyu is doing very well. Qin Wentian smiled. In that case, do you want to continue enjoying my performance? Yi Zimo smiled. Brother Yi, there are still people waiting outside. Let's leave. Qin Wentian smiled and shook his head. Yi Zimo frowned when he thought of Ba Xiao. After that he nodded lightly, sure. After speaking, Yi Zimo stood up. Chida naturally stood up as well. The others all had expressions of interest on their faces when they saw this scene. All of them smiled at the maidservants beside them. We will visit you guys again another day. Evidently, they were all very interested in what would happen next outside the lodge. Lady Xianyu, farewell. Qin Wentian smiled at Xianyu. After that, his silhouette flickered as he flew towards the shore. Xianyu had a strange look on her face as she stared at Qin Wentian's back view. After that she spoke. Sir Qin, Xianyu will send you off. Haha, being able to make Lady Xianyu send you off personally, Brother Qin has already surpassed Ba Xiao by a notch. Brother Qin is truly extraordinary. Yi Zimo glanced at Xianyu as he laughed. Qin Wentian didn't say anything. Xianyu lightly leaned on Qin Wentian's side as she sent Qin Wentian to the entrance. And as expected, in an empty space far away from the Celestial Devil Lodge, Ba Xiao was waiting there with his back facing the lodge. Sir Qin. Xianyu called out. Qin Wentian turned his head back and smiled. Does Lady Xianyu have any other instructions? Will Sir Qin come again? Xianyu asked in a light voice. During the conversation earlier, she faintly felt that she might have missed out on something. She truly had no way to see through Qin Wentian. Yi Zimo was so polite to him. What sort of person was he exactly? Maybe not. Just follow your heart. Qin Wentian nodded to Xianyu and walked out. Many people around him cast a deep glance at Xianyu, even if they were all maidens of the Celestial Devil Lodge. Just a single interaction, and your heart is already moved? Who is he? The maiden who accompanied Chida earlier asked. I'm not sure. Xianyu shook her head lightly. I can't see through Sir Qi as well, but it seems that he respects Sir Qin a lot. That maiden laughed, staring ahead. Chida had been walking behind Qin Wentian from start to finish. From the looks of it, he seemed to be a subordinate. She also felt a slight sense of discomfort in her heart. The people they served were all geniuses on the devil rankings. A subordinate shouldn't even have the qualifications to be served by them. Seems like it. Xianyu nodded. It's just that I don't understand. Xianyu, you didn't even have such an attitude towards Ba Xiao before this, right? You actually asked him if he would come again? You should know very well of Ba Xiao's status and influence in the Devil Islands. The maiden beside her spoke in a low voice. Xianyu's beautiful eyes flashed. There were some things that couldn't be explained clearly. Even she herself didn't know why she was like this. It's just that from the interactions she had with Qin Wentian, she could tell that he was an extremely special person. As to why she asked him if he would come again, could it be because she didn't agree to his request today? She wanted to wait until he came again before considering if she would make a decision or not. Qin Wentian, Yi Zimo and the others already walked to the front of Ba Xiao. At this moment, Ba Xiao slowly turned around, his gaze landing on Qin Wentian as he coldly laughed. I thought you would continue hiding in there forever. Seems like you also understand that running is useless. Running? Qin Wentian laughed and shook his head. Earlier, you compared me to a beast. In that case, if you crawl on all fours like a beast and walk under my crotch, maybe I can spare your life. Ba Xiao domineeringly spoke. Ba Xiao, you are too impudent. Yi Zimo coldly spoke. Boom. At the same time, a thunderous sound rang out. Qida had already stepped out, causing the ground beneath him to tremble. A heaven-shaking battle might gushed forth from Qida, as he instantly appeared before Ba Xiao. Lifting his fist, he punched out, wanting to shatter the space around him. Boom. Devil might gushed forth from Ba Xiao, like an unexcelled tyrant. He similarly lifted his fist and punched out with Qida. At the instant their fists collided, a terrifying tempest manifested, causing the heavens and earth to tremble as the earth crumbled unceasingly. Qida roared. Both his palms blasted out with enough force to topple mountains and overturn seas, destroying everything in its path. Ba Xiao frowned. This man's attack was actually so arrogant. The devil might from him transformed into a terrifying tempest that gushed forth. Battle. Qida's bones and blood vessels all erupted forth with a boundless battle saint might. In addition, the light radiating from Qida was actually devil light. Evidently, he had also cultivated the immortal devil transformation art. Since the Blackstone Devil King gave it to Qin Wentian, he naturally could pass it to Qida to cultivate. Although this art was valuable, it had no use to the Blackstone Devil King, and it wasn't an ultimate art. No matter who cultivated it, it wouldn't affect the Blackstone Devil King at all. In an instant, thunderous booms shook the heavens and earth as the earth trembled violently. Although the two of them had yet to unleash the might of the law transformation art, such a clash would still cause the hearts of the spectators to tremble. The female who served Qida earlier froze, her beautiful eyes unblinking as she stared at the battle. Xianyu's beautiful eyes also stared ahead, only to see Qin Wentian quietly standing there while Ba Xiao and Qida both retreated, floating in the air. Only to see Qin Wentian coldly speaking. Are you even worthy of insulting my lord? Scram. Devil might gushed forth from Ba Xiao as strands of law might radiated from him, enveloping this entire space. In an instant, he exuded an incomparably tyrannical aura. Ba Xiao, I've already said it before. Brother Qin and Brother Qi are both more outstanding than me. If you want to fight, you will naturally have a chance to do so during the birthday celebration of the Devil Emperor. There's no need to show off your might here. You won't be able to gain any benefits. Yi Zimo calmly spoke, causing the hearts of many to tremble. Seems like Yi Zimo wasn't being humble earlier. These two were truly so powerful. Qida was already so terrifying. Yet he referred to Qin Wentian as his lord. Who is he? The female servant serving Qida asked Xianyu. I don't know. Xianyu shook her head. She felt that Qin Wentian was different from many others, but she didn't know how different he was. She also didn't know what sort of person he was exactly. Chapter 1259. The beautiful maidens of the Celestial Devil Lodge quietly watched. Ba Xiao could be considered a famous character on the fallen Devil Island. Now the two maidens Yi Zimo brought over were actually able to stand equally against him. Xianyu, earlier when I looked at the two of you, I felt a little strange. It's like he isn't the one chasing after you but you. That feeling is indescribable, like you owe him something. What did the two of you talk about the first time you met? The beautiful maiden accompanying Yi Zimo asked in a light voice. Her observational abilities were extremely strong. She could sense the strangeness between Qin Wentian and Xianyu earlier. Xianyu's beautiful eyes flashed with waves. The feeling she had today, even she herself couldn't describe it. It was different from the past. He said he wants to redeem my freedom. Xianyu spoke in a light voice. Isn't this what everyone who came here would say? It's just that he wants to obtain us. The maidens of the Celestial Devil Lodge could see through everything. He said that there's no need for me to give up everything. If I feel that I owe him, I can just be his serving girl for a few years. Also, before this I asked him if he was willing to marry me. He clearly said that he already has someone he loves and wouldn't have any connection with me. Xianyu lowered her head, feeling complicated in her heart. The people around were all stunned. You rejected him? Xianyu nodded lightly. That's why I asked him if he would come again, because I feel that I've missed out on this opportunity. He might not come again. Seems like your heart is truly moved. And from the looks of this battle, he truly isn't an ordinary person. But Xianyu, don't worry. You are so beautiful and Ba Xiao has already fallen head over heels for you. How can he not come again? The maiden at the side laughed. You guys don't understand the feeling of being together with him. Xianyu smiled and shook her head. In the past, no matter how lofty and aloof the geniuses were, they would still be unable to control themselves, and would need us to take the initiative to avoid them. But for him, if I don't take the initiative to lean on him, I feel that he might not even touch me at all. The maidens all exchanged glances. Under such a charming environment, in addition to the might of the Mercury Lady Devil art, Qin Wentian was actually able to do it to such an extent. Raising his head and gazing into the distance, Ba Xiao's aura was unparalleled as devil might gushed forth from him. Qi De also soared up into the air as his body of laws enveloped his body. His battle might towered up into the clouds, terrifying to the extreme. Ba Xiao then glanced at Yi Zimo and Qin Wentian. After that, an even more fearsome devil might gushed forth as he took out a terrifying devil hammer that seemed capable of shattering the earth. Buzz. When Qin Wentian saw this, he took a step forward. His aura burst out instantly, and an incomparably sharp sword appeared in his hand. The sword was like a demon, and the shadow of a rock shone brightly. It seemed as if it was going to soar into the sky. He broke through the sky. Only the 7th stage realm? Ba Xiao coldly stared at Qin Wentian. His hammer smashed towards Qin Wentian as numerous tyrannical bolts of devilish lightning manifested in the air, akin to a devil calamity capable of destroying the heavens and earth, containing the power to destroy the world. Qi De didn't act. Instead, Qin Wentian slashed out with his sword, breaking apart the void. A crescent-shaped sword light flashed in the sky as numerous terrifying rock swords slashed out, slashing into the devilish tribulation energy of darkness, as terrifying rumbling sounds rang out. Violent devil waves churned unceasingly in the air as Qin Wentian's aura gushed forth like a torrential downpour. Rumble! Qin Wentian took a step out, soaring up into the air. Boundless sword might radiated from him, as though there were tens of thousands of ancient sword runes of darkness floating around him, converging onto the body of his sword, radiating a terrifying destructive sword light. Brother Qin, the royal devil sect this man is from is a terrifying power on this island. Even if you want to kill him, it wouldn't be too late to do so during the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration. But if you kill him now, there would be great trouble. Yi Zimo's voice rang out in Qin Wentian's mind. Qin Wentian's heart trembled slightly. Yi Zimo's considerations weren't without reason. Although those major powers wouldn't interfere in battles between juniors, if someone really dared to act against them, how could they be so kind? They would directly send experts to kill their way. On this fallen devil island, Qin Wentian had no foundation, only to see Yi Zimo soaring up into the air as he took out a tyrannical devil weapon. He stared at Ba Xiao. Ba Xiao, if you really disregard everything and start a battle here, you will definitely end up in a miserable state. Ba Xiao turned ashen. He knew a little about Yi Zimo's strength and had fought against Qi De before. Now that he was fighting against Qin Wentian, he understood that it was basically impossible for him to kill Qin Wentian here. In fact, he would definitely be at a disadvantage. I will spare your life for now. I will take your dog life on the day of the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration. Ba Xiao coldly spoke. After that, devil might gushed forth, gushing towards Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian slashed out with his sword, only to see Ba Xiao turning and departing. You are clearly a stray dog, yet you still want to make it sound more beautiful before scramming away? Only by doing so would you be able to look better? Qin Wentian spoke in a low voice. The devil might from afar was extremely violent. Qin Wentian kept his sword as his aura dissipated. Yi Zimo spoke, Brother Qin, let's go. Qin Wentian nodded lightly. The three of them then sped away, not even turning their heads back. Within the Celestial Devil Lodge, Xianyu and the other maidens stared at the departing figures as shock filled their hearts. Ba Xiao actually retreated. Although he did so in a domineering manner, it was just like what Qin Wentian said. Since he retreated, it meant that he wasn't a match for Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian's cultivation base was actually only at the 7th level, but he could fight head-on against Ba Xiao. His subordinate Qida was very assured of him, and Yi Zimo also seemed to be doing his best to rope him in, wanting to form a good relationship with him. This man was getting more and more unfathomable. For the next few days, Qin Wentian roamed around the fallen Devil Island. The number of experts gathered here grew more and more. Qin Wentian could already sense that very soon, he would be able to see many familiar faces. The birthday celebration of the Devil Emperor would surely be extremely lively. During this period of time, Yi Zimo naturally brought up the topic of going to the Celestial Devil Lodge again, and intentionally mentioned Xianyu. However, Qin Wentian didn't head there. The maidens of the Celestial Devil Lodge all cultivated the Mercury Lady Devil art. However, Qin Wentian didn't wish to borrow the strength of women to improve himself. As for Xianyu, given how beautiful she was, in addition to the fact that she cultivated the Mercury Lady Devil art, Qin Wentian's heart naturally swayed as he felt some emotions stirring in him. Qin Wentian wasn't a saint, he was only an ordinary person with a high cultivation base. It was impossible for his heart to be as calm as still water. In addition, after experiencing the temptation of the Mercury Lady Devil art, it was extremely difficult for him to forget that scene. Any man who experienced it once would find it hard to forget. But if one were to speak of deep feelings, it was impossible to speak of. He and Xianyu had merely met once. Now that they were outside, although he would still think of her face, he wouldn't feel any impulsive emotions. In addition, before this, he had asked Xianyu if she was willing to come out with him. Since Xianyu rejected him, he would naturally respect her choice. Because of this, Yi Zimo joked with Qin Wentian, saying that this fellow had a heart of stone, neglecting a beauty. From Yi Zimo's perspective, if Qin Wentian went out a few more times, there was a high chance that he would be able to win over Xianyu. The date of the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration got closer and closer. Today, in the Celestial Devil Lodge, Xianyu stood in the pavilion, staring in the direction of the island in the lake. From her position, she could clearly see everything there, but from there, she couldn't see what was happening here. During these days, he hasn't gone out even once. Could it be that his heart is truly moved? A maiden appeared beside Xianyu as she spoke. Stop joking. Xianyu spoke in a light voice. Are you joking? He's here. The maiden pointed to the pavilion. Xianyu's beautiful eyes flashed as she turned her gaze over only to hear a light laugh from the side. Look, you are still lying. During these days, you have been waiting for him to come, right? Xianyu naturally understood who the maiden was referring to. It's just that even she herself didn't know what she was waiting for. Her heart was extremely complicated right now. Was she waiting for him to come and tell her that he was willing to redeem her and leave? However, her senses weren't wrong. As expected, he didn't come and wouldn't come to the Celestial Devil Lodge again. He won't come again. Xianyu spoke in a light voice. The woman gently nodded and said, Looks like it really is as you said, he is a little different from the others. Otherwise, when faced with your temptation, he would personally send you an invitation. Who would be able to bear not coming to see you? Or perhaps he is just a heartless person. Xianyu shook her head lightly. If he was a heartless man, he wouldn't have mentioned the woman he loved back then, and would think of ways to toy with her instead. I'm going to see the Lodge Lord. Xianyu suddenly turned and spoke. What do you want to do? The expression of the maiden beside her changed. I have something to ask the Lodge Lord. Xianyu spoke and sped away, as though she had decided on something. Outside the 4 great sects of the floating Emperor Palace, there were countless experts gathered at the testing grounds of the Devil Caves. Azure Flame Tua and his wife Yen Yusin as well as several other geniuses all appeared here. In fact, Even Yen Yurua was following behind them. During these days, the devilish female was in an extremely bad mood. Her gaze roamed the surroundings as though she wanted to search for something. However, there were so many people here, but there was no one she could see. That bastard, he actually didn't return. As expected, he planned to slip away the moment he arrived at the fallen devil island. Yen Yurua pouted as a hint of depression flashed in her eyes. During these few days, Qin Wentian had actually vanished into thin air. There was no sign of him at all. Yurua, you should also try to see if you can pass one of the 4 devil caves. This is the qualification to enter. If you fail, even father wouldn't be able to bring you in. This is the rule of the Devil Emperor's birthday banquet. Yen Yusen walked to the side of Yen Yurua as she spoke. You guys obtained it? Yen Yurua asked. Naturally. Your brother-in-law obtained the golden medallion and would be able to obtain a good position. Let's hope that he would be able to display his brilliance on the day of the birthday banquet. Yen Yusen spoke to the devilish female. Also, the other geniuses have all obtained the golden medallion. Yurua, there's no need to think about that person anymore. He isn't worthy. You don't need to care about my matters. Yen Yurua coldly spoke. She had been brooding over the matter of Qin Wentian leaving, and was extremely unhappy with her elder sister. Fine, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. Yen Yusen coldly stated. Wait until you participate in the Demon Emperor Palace's grand event. When you see the countless geniuses competing against each other, your way of thinking will eventually change. You will understand that everything your sister said is true. Chapter 1260. The day of the Devil Emperor's birthday celebration finally arrived. Today, in the direction of the 4 devil sects, experts were as common as clouds. And within the devil sects, there was an army that could sweep through the entire fallen devil region. No one dared to be impudent today. The fallen devil emperor was the supreme ruler of the myriad of devil islands in the fallen devil region. With a single command from him, all the islands had to obey. His words were akin to an imperial edict. The birthday celebration of the fallen devil emperor was the grandest event in the fallen devil region. Today, the devil kings of the millions and millions of devil islands would come to offer their congratulations. The geniuses under them, as well as the powerful devil sects of the fallen devil islands. In the 4 directions of the floating devil sect, the peak geniuses of the entire fallen devil region were gathered. Naturally, there were even more people here to spectate. After all, those who could obtain the qualifications to enter were the minority. However, even so, in the direction of the 4 demon sects, the people who entered the demon sects did not panic at all. They were very orderly. The strongest demon army guarded the entrances, and there were powerful existences patrolling everywhere in the void. There were even shocking demonic thoughts sweeping in all directions. Who dared to mess around? Qin Wentian, Yi Zimo, Qi De, and a few other geniuses of the Yi clan were together, following the flow of people towards one of the devil sections. Clan Lord and the others have entered. The young man beside Yi Zimo stared at the group of experts in the air. They directly entered the devil sect. The Yi clan was a major clan on the fallen devil island, and the clan lord could bring some powerful devil kings in. As long as their identities were verified, they wouldn't be obstructed. The other powers were the same as well. And for the many devil islands in the fallen devil region, only the controller of the island as well as the devil kings under them had the qualifications to directly enter the banquet. Only those at the Devil Foundation realm couldn't be brought in directly, because the number was simply too great. They had to rely on themselves to pass through the Devil Cavern. Hence Qin Wentian, Yi Zimo and the others were queuing up. This was only the first entrance. After ascending the stairway, there were still many more checkpoints. Qin Wentian, Yi Zimo, and the others arrived in front of the Devil Sect. A light flashed on their foreheads and they immediately entered. No one stopped them, and they were very fast. After entering, there was an army guarding them along the way. They were also guiding them. They followed the path guarded by the army and went deep into the Devil Sect, passing through the core area. Finally, they arrived at the foot of the heaven stairway that led to the demonic palace, suspended in the sky. Heavenly craftsmanship, Qin Wentian said as he looked up along the staircase. The residence of the Demon Emperor naturally has supreme prestige. Let's go up, Yi Zimo said as he stepped forward. Qin Wentian walked forward and climbed up the stairs as if he was going straight up to the clouds. Above the heaven stairway, there was also an army of devil guards. When they stepped on it, they could see an incomparably gigantic devil gate and a majestic devil palace. Many geniuses could be seen here, as though they were on a pilgrimage. Qin Wentian has seen the palaces of immortal emperors before. The ethereal Qi was like a celestial realm in the heavens. However, the devil palace of the demon emperor only exuded a majestic aura. When they stepped on it, they could feel a sense of solemnity and majesty. No one dared to be impudent in here. This floating devil palace was extremely vast, resembling a gigantic castle. The place they were heading to now was the floating battlefield. That place was where the birthday banquet of the demon emperor would be held, as well as the place where he would summon his subordinates. Finally, Qin Wentian and the others arrived at the entrance of the floating battlefield. There was a curved viewing platform with over 100,000 seats prepared. With a single glance, one could see how majestic this place was. And right in the center, there was an incomparably gigantic floating battle platform. Over there were the most distinguished seats. The devil throne of the demon emperor was there. Below him were the seats for the various hegemons of the fallen devil region. And below that were the seats for the devil kings under the demon emperor. And after that were the seats for the geniuses who came here to participate in the banquet. Based on the medallion they had, they could sit at different levels. For the highest level medallion of darkness, one could sit at the same level as the devil kings. Also, everyone discovered that below the devil emperor, there were quite a few seats that were extremely close to him, surrounded by the devil kings. Many geniuses had looks of yearning in their eyes when they saw those seats. If they could sit there, they would be able to get close to the devil emperor. How glorious would that be? Qin Wentian saw countless figures following the instructions of the guards as they entered their respective regions. There were so many people, but in this extremely vast place, it actually didn't seem crowded at all. This region was simply too vast. At the furthest point where the devil emperor was, if it wasn't for the fact that one had a high cultivation base and the vision of an ordinary person, they wouldn't be able to see him at all. The devil kings have already taken their seats. Qin Wentian saw the Blackstone Devil King in the Devil King's area. He was currently chatting with the other devil kings beside him. And in the crowd before Qin Wentian, Yan Yirua and Yan Yusen were there as well. When they saw the Blackstone Devil King, Yan Yirua smiled. Sadly, Father can't bring me along with him. If not, I would be able to see Father up close. Forget it, just obediently stay in this area. I will accompany you. Your brother-in-law and the others have outstanding talent, and can use the gold medallion to advance further. But before them, there are still the violet gold medallion and darkness medallion, which are even more valuable. However, not many people would be able to obtain them. Yen Yusen spoke in a light voice. The devilish female didn't pay too much attention to Yen Yusen's flattery towards Azure Flame Tua. Her beautiful eyes were roving about in all directions, and when she saw a figure at the edge of the entrance, her beautiful eyes froze. After that, she used her unique voice to call out, "Qin Wentian, over here." Yen Yusen's eyes flashed. She turned her head and also saw Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian came from the same direction as them, and could be seen with a single glance. She couldn't help but to frown as she sarcastically spoke. "You are actually still thinking about him. So what if he is here? Between us and him, it is destined that there will be a disparity. Yurua, there are countless geniuses here. Anyone you know might be more outstanding than him. Just wait and see." The devilish female coldly laughed, her charming eyes staring straight at Qin Wentian, as though saying, "This fellow actually dares to flee." Qin Wentian saw the signature smile of the devilish female. He couldn't help but to bitterly smile and shake his head. He lifted his feet and walked forward. Yi Zimo and the others followed behind him. They couldn't help but to feel curious. Who was this beauty? Third princess. Qin Wentian arrived before the devilish female and called out, his words causing the eyes of Yi Zimo and the others to flash. Third princess? Humph, you still recognize this princess? Why did you run away for so many days? Where did you go? The devilish female stared at Qin Wentian with a suggestive gaze. She stretched out her hand and pinched Qin Wentian's waist, her actions extremely ambiguous. Yuru. Yin Yusin, who was at the side, couldn't bear to watch this any longer. She coldly spoke. Yurua, pay attention to your identity. Could it be that you still want to be entangled with a slave? Elder sis, that's enough. The devilish female berated. Are you intentionally angering him away again? Yin Yusin. Qin Wentian stared at her, his eyes gleaming with coldness as he spoke. Although I'm a devil general under the Blackstone Devil King, and I can address Yurua as the third princess, but since you are already married to someone else, there's no longer any relationship between us. You better watch your words. Threatening me. Yin Yusin's eyes flashed with coldness. A slave actually dares to be so impudent. And behind Yin Yusin, Azure Flame Tuo's gaze turned to Qin Wentian as he coldly spoke. I didn't bother to argue with you because of Yurua. You better be more polite when you speak. Brother Qin, who are these people? What arrogance! Yi Zimo walked up, coldly sweeping his gaze over. You even got a helper? The people beside Azure Flame Tuo all laughed mockingly. They are from the Azure Flame clan. As for the others, I don't know them. Qin Wentian replied. Azure Flame clan? Yi Zimo started as a bitter smile appeared on his face. Upon seeing this scene, Azure Flame Tuo had a look of arrogance on his face. As for Yin Yusin, she mocked. Yurua, do you see this? This is the influence of a powerful clan. Such a trashy clan actually dares to be so arrogant? Do your heads grow on your buttocks? Yi Zimo laughed bitterly. These people actually thought that his bitter smile was because he couldn't afford to antagonize them? This was truly interesting. Yin Yusin's expression turned cold. She stared at Azure Flame Tuo only to see Azure Flame Tuo's expression also turning cold. Trashy clan? I really want to ask, where did you come from? If you don't give me an explanation, I'm afraid you won't be able to bear the price. Even someone from the Azure Flame clan dares to threaten me? Yi Zimo glanced at the members of the Yi clan behind him. Zimo, seems like your reputation is too small. Nobody knows you at all. Someone laughed. Naturally, we can't rule out the ignorance of some trashy powers. Yi Zimo of the Yi clan was actually threatened by someone from the Azure Flame clan. If news of this were to spread out, I'm afraid it would be a joke. You are Yi Zimo. Azure Flame Tuo's expression changed. Yi Zimo of the Devil Rankings, Yi Zimo of the Yi clan. The expressions of the people beside him also changed. They clasped their hands at Yi Zimo. So it's Brother Yi. Brother Yi, do I know you guys? I haven't asked, where are you guys from? Yi Zimo's cold eyes swept over, instantly turning sharp. The expressions of those people stiffened as they replied in a trembling voice. We are just passing by and aren't familiar with the people from the Azure Flame clan. We will take our leave now. After speaking, they left while trembling. Azure Flame Tuo's expression stiffened, feeling extremely embarrassed. This Qin Wentian was actually acquainted with Yi Zimo? Brother Qin, how do you want to deal with them? Yi Zimo stared at Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian mockingly glanced at Azure Flame Tuo and Yin Yusin before shaking his head. After that, he turned to Yen Yurua. Third princess, I will go over first. I will go with you. After the devilish female spoke, she suddenly recalled that the seats were divided into different levels. She couldn't help but to smile awkwardly. Seems like I can only watch you from afar. I will look for you later. Qin Wentian walked forward. Azure Flame Tuo stepped aside. Yi Zimo stood there and glanced at Yin Yusin as he mockingly spoke. The dragon of darkness that soars through the skies naturally can't be bothered to lower itself to the level of ants on the ground. I have seen many women like you who married into the Azure Flame clan, thinking that they have climbed up the ladder of glory and splendor. Your horizons are low yet arrogant. How pitiful. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.